The sun rose over the hidden leaf village, casting a golden hue on the vibrant streets filled with the hustle and bustle of shinobi preparing for the Chunin exams. Among them was Naruto Uzumaki, his heart racing with a mix of excitement and determination. The young ninja had trained hard for this moment, eager to prove himself and earn the respect he craved. However, little did he know that this day would change the course of his life forever. As the first stage of the exams approached, the participants were tasked with navigating the treacherous forest of death. Naruto, along with his teammates Sasuke Uchiha and Sakura Haruno, ventured into the forest, unaware of the extraordinary event waiting for him. The forest was dense and foreboding, with towering trees that blocked out the sunlight and the sound of rustling leaves filling the air. They quickly established a plan to collect scrolls while avoiding confrontation with other teams. But as they navigated through the thick underbrush, Naruto felt an inexplicable pull toward a clearing deeper within the woods. "Hey, guys, let's check out that area," Naruto called out, pointing toward a faint glow emanating from a distance. Sasuke raised an eyebrow, skepticism evident in his expression. "We need to focus on the exam, Naruto. We can't afford distractions. Come on, Sasuke. It might be something valuable." Naruto persisted, his enthusiasm infectious. Sakura, caught in the middle, glanced between the two before reluctantly nodding. With a sigh, Sasuke relented. "Fine. But we're not wasting too much time." The trio pressed on, weaving through the undergrowth until they reached the clearing. Before them lay a small, glowing fruit nestled atop a stone pedestal. Its surface shimmered like polished gold, crackling with a faint electric energy. Naruto felt an instinctual urge to reach for it. "Is that a fruit?" Sakura asked, her curiosity piqued. "It looks weird. Whatever it is, it's not a good idea to touch it," Sasuke warned, his instincts honed from years of training. But Naruto couldn't resist the allure of the glowing object. He took a step forward, entranced. "I have to know what it is," he declared, lunging for the fruit. As his fingers brushed against its surface, a surge of energy coursed through him. The world around him faded, replaced by a blinding flash of light. Naruto gasped, feeling an overwhelming power envelop him. It was as if lightning danced within his veins, igniting every cell in his body with electrifying energy. The sensation was both exhilarating and terrifying. Suddenly, visions flashed before his eyes, powerful storms, crackling lightning, and a world transformed by electricity. "Whoa!" he shouted, stumbling backward as he regained his footing. Sasuke and Sakura looked on in shock. "What just happened?" Sakura exclaimed, eyes wide with concern. I don't know," Naruto replied, panting. The fruit disintegrated into sparkles of light, merging with his very being. He felt different, stronger somehow. As he focused, he could sense the raw energy coursing through him, like a dormant beast waiting to be unleashed. Sasuke narrowed his eyes, assessing Naruto with newfound scrutiny. "What did you do, Naruto? You're glowing." Naruto looked down at himself, realizing that his chakra was swirling with electric energy. "I think I got superpowers," he exclaimed, laughter bubbling up inside him. Before Sasuke could respond, a rustling sound interrupted their conversation. From the trees emerged a team of sound ninja, led by a sinister-looking boy with long, spiky hair. "Looks like we've found some easy targets," he sneered, cracking his knuckles. "Get ready to fight." "Great. Just what we need," Sasuke muttered, his eyes narrowing as he prepared for battle. But Naruto, still riding the wave of newfound power, felt a surge of confidence. "Leave this to me," he shouted, stepping forward. He raised his hands, feeling the electric energy pulsating within him. With a flick of his wrist, he summoned a crackling bolt of lightning that shot from his fingertips, striking the nearest sound ninja. The blast sent the ninja flying, crashing into the trees with a thundering crash. Sakura gasped, her eyes wide with disbelief. "Naruto, you did that?" "Yeah. Check this out," Naruto shouted, reveling in the sensation of power. He unleashed a flurry of lightning bolts, each one arcing toward the remaining sound ninja, who stumbled back in fear. "Retreat!" the spiky-haired boy shouted, but it was too late. Naruto's electric fury was unstoppable. One by one, the sound ninja fell, incapacitated by the overwhelming force of his attacks. Sasuke watched in awe, realization dawning on him. This is incredible. Naruto, you're actually strong now. I know. I feel amazing. Naruto shouted, his laughter echoing through the forest. The rush of power filled him with exhilaration, and he could hardly contain his excitement. As the last of the sound ninja fled, Naruto turned to Sasuke and Sakura, a triumphant grin on his face. We did it! I can't believe how strong I am. Yeah. But don't let it go to your head, Sasuke cautioned, his voice serious. We still have to finish the exam. Naruto nodded, determination replacing his earlier exuberance. Right? Let's go find those scrolls. With renewed energy, the trio forged deeper into the forest, Naruto leading the charge with confidence. As they traversed the challenging terrain, he experimented with his abilities, learning to harness the electricity that flowed within him. The air crackled with energy as Naruto pushed his limits. He discovered that he could manipulate the electrical currents around him, creating shields of lightning to protect his teammates and launching himself forward with bursts of speed. The very ground beneath him would spark and hum with his presence. Hours passed as they navigated the forest, encountering various challenges and traps laid out by other teams. But with Naruto's newfound power, they overcame every obstacle with ease. His confidence grew as he wielded lightning like an artist with a brush, leaving a path of defeated foes in their wake. Eventually, they reached a clearing where another team lay in wait. The tension in the air was palpable as the opposing team glared at them. Ready for a fight? Looks like we found some competition, Sasuke observed, preparing for battle. But Naruto, feeling the electric energy pulsating within him, couldn't resist the urge to showcase his abilities. Step back. I'll handle this. Before Sasuke could protest, Naruto summoned a massive bolt of lightning, directing it toward the enemy team. The sky darkened, and thunder rumbled as the bolt crashed down, creating a blinding flash of light and a deafening roar. The opposing team barely had time to react before they were overwhelmed by the electric storm that engulfed them. Naruto felt invincible as he unleashed the full extent of his powers, the thrill of battle fueling his desire to protect his friends. When the smoke cleared, the enemy team lay defeated, unable to withstand the force of Naruto's attack. Sasuke and Sakura stared in awe, unable to comprehend the sheer magnitude of Naruto's abilities. Okay. Maybe we should let you handle the fighting from now on, Sasuke admitted, a hint of respect in his voice. Naruto grinned, feeling a rush of pride. Yeah? I'm unstoppable now. As they continued their journey through the forest of death, Naruto's confidence soared. With each encounter, he grew stronger, learning to control his powers and channel the electricity that surged within him. The Chunin exams transformed from a mere competition into a stage for him to prove his worth as a ninja. But with great power came great responsibility. As Naruto reveled in his newfound abilities, he couldn't shake the feeling that this was only the beginning. The Chunin exams held more challenges, more powerful opponents, and greater dangers that lay ahead. As they collected scrolls and advanced deeper into the exam, Naruto felt an unshakable determination building within him. He would not only prove himself but also protect his friends and village with the power of the Goro Goro no Mi. The trials ahead would be fierce, but he was ready to face them head-on. The embodiment of lightning and thunder. With a roar of excitement, Naruto proclaimed, "Let's show them what we've got." As the sun set over the forest, the trio pressed on, their bond stronger than ever. The journey had only just begun, and Naruto Uzumaki, now infused with the power of the Rumble fruit, was destined to leave his mark on the world. As night fell over the forest of death, the shadows danced beneath the towering trees, and the air crackled with residual energy from Naruto's earlier outbursts. He, Sasuke, and Sakura made their way through the dense underbrush, their spirits buoyed by the success of their encounters. Naruto felt a surge of confidence with each step. The power of the Goro Goro no Mi thrumming just beneath his skin. The forest was eerily quiet, the usual sounds of nocturnal creatures drowned out by the lingering tension of the Chunin exams. The trio set up camp in a small clearing, the flickering flames of their campfire illuminating their faces. Naruto couldn't help but feel a sense of camaraderie building among them. A feeling he cherished deeply. Alright. Let's take a moment to rest, Sakura suggested, glancing at the stars twinkling overhead. We should also come up with a strategy for the next phase of the exam. Strategy? Who needs that? Naruto said, grinning widely. I'll just zap everyone with my lightning. Sasuke shot him a sharp look. You can't just rely on your new powers, Naruto. We need to be smart about this. We can't underestimate our opponents. Naruto nodded, though he was brimming with excitement. Yeah. I get it. But I really feel like I can take on anyone now. Sakura smiled softly, appreciating Naruto's enthusiasm. Just remember, teamwork is key. We'll be stronger together. As they planned their next moves, Naruto couldn't shake the feeling that they were being watched. The hairs on the back of his neck stood up, and he instinctively summoned a small arc of electricity, allowing it to flicker playfully between his fingers. Hey, Sasuke. Can you feel that? He asked, his tone shifting to serious. I think there's someone nearby. Sasuke narrowed his eyes, scanning the surrounding shadows. I sense it too. We need to stay alert. Suddenly, a rustling sound echoed from the treetops. Without warning, a pair of figures leapt from the shadows, landing gracefully in front of the trio. Two ninja from the Rain Village, their faces obscured by masks, stood ready to attack. Looks like we found ourselves some prey, one of them taunted, a wicked grin on his face. Hand over your scrolls, and we might let you leave in one piece. Naruto stepped forward, a fierce determination in his eyes. You picked the wrong targets. We won't let you take anything from us. Sasuke moved into position beside Naruto, his Sharingan activated. Let's see what they've got. The first rain ninja lunged forward, a kunai glinting in the moonlight. Naruto didn't hesitate. Channeling his newfound powers, he thrust his hand forward and unleashed a crackling bolt of electricity that struck the ninja, sending him sprawling backward. Damn! The second ninja shouted, shock evident in his voice. He's stronger than he looks. Let's show him what we can do, his partner roared. Recovering quickly, he threw a barrage of shuriken, aiming for Naruto. But with his heightened reflexes and newfound speed, Naruto sidestepped effortlessly, dodging the projectiles with agility. With a surge of confidence, he concentrated on the electricity around him. How about a little shock therapy? He declared, summoning a massive wave of electric energy that surged outward. The bolt of lightning illuminated the clearing, crackling and snapping as it engulfed the area, sending a powerful shockwave toward the remaining rain ninja. Get back! The second ninja shouted. But it was too late. The electric surge struck him, causing him to convulse in pain before collapsing to the ground. Sakura watched, eyes wide with amazement. Naruto. That was incredible. Yeah. I feel amazing. He shouted back, panting with exhilaration. The thrill of combat surged through him, intoxicating and powerful. As the smoke cleared, Sasuke approached the fallen rain ninja, quickly subduing him to ensure he wouldn't get back up. We need to keep moving. We can't let our guard down. Right. Naruto agreed, his energy still buzzing from the battle. They gathered the scrolls from the defeated ninjas before moving deeper into the forest, the adrenaline of the fight propelling them forward. As they traveled, Naruto began to experiment with his powers further. He learned to create small electric sparks to light their path at night and to enhance his speed with bursts of electricity. The forest became his playground, a place where he could unleash his abilities freely. But as they pressed on, the looming threat of other teams weighed heavily on his mind. The Chunin exams were far from over, and Naruto knew he had to remain focused. The next challenge would be the written exam, where cunning and intelligence would play a crucial role. After hours of traversing the forest, they stumbled upon an abandoned hut, an old structure long forgotten. It was a perfect spot to rest and gather their thoughts before the next phase of the exam. Let's take a break here, Sakura suggested, her voice filled with relief. We can rest up and prepare for the written portion tomorrow. Inside the hut, they settled down, sharing rations and discussing strategies. Naruto felt a sense of camaraderie and warmth, a stark contrast to the harsh world outside. But in the back of his mind, He couldn't shake the anticipation of the battles to come. As they settled in, Naruto contemplated the immense power he had gained. The Goro Goro no Mi had transformed him, granting him abilities beyond anything he had ever imagined. He was no longer the underdog, but a force to be reckoned with. Yet, he also understood that with power came responsibility. "Guys," he said, breaking the silence, "I know I've gotten stronger, but I won't let it change who I am. I'm still Naruto Uzumaki, and I'll protect you no matter what." Sasuke nodded. A rare moment of agreement. "As long as you don't let it go to your head. We're a team." Sakura smiled, her heart swelling with pride. "Together, we can overcome anything." The trio shared a moment of quiet determination, their bonds stronger than ever. As they prepared to face the written exam, Naruto felt ready for anything. He would prove himself, not just to others, but to himself. The next day dawned bright and clear, the forest alive with the sounds of nature. They gathered their things and set off, their spirits high. Little did they know, the true challenges of the Chunin exams awaited them. Upon arriving at the exam site, they found themselves in a large tent filled with other participants. The air was thick with tension, each competitor sizing each other up. Naruto felt the energy crackling within him, eager to be unleashed. But he knew he had to hold back for now. The proctor, a stern-looking man with an imposing presence, stepped forward. "Welcome to the written portion of the Chunin exams. You will have 1 hour to complete the test. Failure to finish will result in disqualification." Naruto exchanged glances with his teammates. He wasn't particularly worried about the written part. His confidence in his intelligence surged. He sat at the table, ready to tackle whatever challenges lay ahead. As the test began, Naruto quickly realized that the questions were trickier than he anticipated. They were designed to test not just knowledge but cunning and strategy. He glanced at Sasuke, who was already deep in thought, and Sakura, who was scribbling down answers furiously. "Come on, Naruto, focus," Sakura hissed, noticing him drifting off. "We need to pass this." Naruto grinned sheepishly, shaking off the distraction. "Right? Let's do this." He started to answer the questions, but his mind wandered back to his powers. Would he be able to utilize them in the upcoming battles? As he pondered, he recalled the various techniques he could perform with electricity. He focused, letting the energy flow through him, maintaining his calm even amidst the pressure. When the time was called, Naruto breathed a sigh of relief. He felt confident about his answers, and as the exam proctor collected the papers, he knew they would all pass. But just as they were about to leave, a loud commotion erupted outside the tent. Naruto and his friends rushed to investigate, their instincts on high alert. Outside, they witnessed chaos. A team of rogue ninjas from the Sand Village was attacking, taking advantage of the exams to unleash havoc on unsuspecting competitors. Screams filled the air as fighters engaged in combat, the clashing of weapons echoing through the clearing. "This is bad," Sasuke muttered, assessing the situation. "We need to help." Naruto felt the familiar surge of adrenaline, his body thrumming with electricity. "Let's go." With renewed purpose, they rushed into the fray. The once quiet exam site had transformed into a battlefield, and Naruto was ready to show what he could do. "Get back," he shouted, summoning a bolt of lightning as he charged forward. The energy crackled around him, illuminating the chaos. He unleashed his power on the attackers, the brilliant flash of electricity cutting through the darkness. As he fought, he felt the thrill of battle surge through him. He was no longer just a participant, he was a protector, ready to fight for his friends and his village. The Goro Goro no Mi had awakened something deep within him, and he was determined to wield it for good. With each strike, each flash of electricity, he pushed back against the rogue ninjas, feeling invincible. The tides of battle began to shift as Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura fought as a cohesive unit, each complementing the other's strengths. Naruto's laughter rang out amidst the chaos. "I'll show you what true power is." As the battle raged on, the true test of the Chunin exams had begun, not just against other ninjas but against the darkness that threatened to consume them all. And with the power of the Goro Goro no Mi at his side, Naruto was ready to rise to the occasion, his resolve stronger than ever. The chaos around the exam site reached a fever pitch as the rogue ninjas from the Sand Village unleashed their fury upon the unsuspecting participants. The clash of metal and the sounds of battle filled the air, drowning out the cries of panic. Naruto, fueled by the electrifying power of the Goro Goro no Mi, felt an unstoppable urge to leap into action. "Stay close," he shouted to Sasuke and Sakura as they plunged into the fray, the air crackling with tension. The moment they entered the battle, Naruto felt the rush of energy surging through him, igniting his determination. He could sense the fear and desperation of those around him, and it only fueled his resolve to protect them. With a swift motion, Naruto summoned a bolt of electricity and directed it toward a group of rogue ninjas attacking a nearby team. The electric arc struck true, illuminating the area in a brilliant flash and sending the assailants sprawling backward. The sight filled him with exhilaration. "Take that!" he yelled, laughter escaping his lips. Even as the gravity of the situation weighed heavily upon him, he spotted a team of his fellow Leaf Shinobi struggling against two rogue ninjas, their backs against the wall. Without hesitation, Naruto charged toward them, lightning crackling around him. "Get away from them!" he shouted, unleashing another wave of electric energy that surged through the air like a storm. The rogue ninjas barely had time to react before they were engulfed in the electric wave, thrown back by the overwhelming force. "Thanks, Naruto," one of the Leaf ninjas called, eyes wide with shock. "We thought we were done for." Naruto grinned, feeling the thrill of heroism coursing through him. "No problem. Just stay safe and keep fighting." As he turned to rejoin Sasuke and Sakura, he caught sight of the chaos unfolding around him. Teams fought desperately to fend off the rogue attackers, and the tension was palpable. But amidst the battle, he felt an undeniable sense of purpose. This was not just about the exams anymore, it was about protecting his friends and his village. "Let's regroup," Sasuke shouted, his voice cutting through the din. Naruto nodded, glancing back to see Sakura holding her own against an enemy. She deftly dodged an incoming attack, her skills shining through even in the chaos. "Over here," Naruto called, darting toward his teammates. The three of them quickly formed a defensive line, preparing to face the next wave of attackers. "Looks like we have to make a stand," Sasuke said, his Sharingan glowing. "We can't let them break through." Naruto nodded, determination igniting within him. "Then let's show them what we're made of." With a fierce battle cry, Naruto charged forward, leading the charge with bolts of electricity illuminating the night. Sasuke followed closely, weaving through the enemy ranks with precision, while Sakura supported them from behind, her medical ninjutsu at the ready for anyone who needed it. As they fought, Naruto felt the exhilaration of his powers surging through him. He unleashed a series of lightning blasts, creating a dazzling display of energy that confused and terrified the rogue ninjas. "I won't let you hurt anyone else," he shouted, the intensity of his voice matching the energy surrounding him. The rogue ninjas began to falter, their numbers dwindling against the relentless assault from the Leaf Shinobi. Naruto's confidence swelled with each successful strike. He had come so far, and now he was fighting not just for himself but for everyone who believed in him. Suddenly, the leader of the rogue ninjas, a tall figure with piercing eyes and a cold demeanor, stepped forward, surveying the battlefield with a menacing smirk. "You think you can stop us?" he taunted, his voice dripping with disdain. "You're all fools." Naruto felt a chill run down his spine but refused to show fear. "We're not afraid of you," he shouted defiantly. "You'll pay for what you've done." The rogue leader raised his hand, signaling for the remaining ninjas to gather around him. "Let's see how long you can keep up that bravado, brat." With a flick of his wrist, the leader unleashed a series of explosive tags, sending them soaring toward Naruto and his teammates. "Get down," Sasuke shouted, pushing Sakura out of the way as the tags detonated in a violent explosion. The force of the blast sent Naruto tumbling backward, the shockwave knocking him off balance. He quickly regained his footing, shaking off the disorientation. Anger flared within him. He wouldn't let them get away with this. "Enough," he shouted, channeling his energy into a single, massive bolt of lightning. He focused all his willpower into the attack, feeling the electricity coursing through him like a raging storm. The air grew charged as he released the energy, a brilliant flash lighting up the battlefield. The bolt shot forward, striking the rogue leader squarely in the chest. The impact sent him crashing to the ground, the explosion of electricity creating a blinding spectacle. "Now's our chance," Naruto yelled, urging his teammates forward. They charged at the remaining rogue ninjas, their morale bolstered by Naruto's display of power. The rogue ninjas, now shaken and terrified, began to retreat. One by one, they fell before the united front of the Leaf Shinobi, the tide of battle turning decisively in their favor. As the last of the rogue ninjas fled, Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura stood triumphant, breathing heavily in the aftermath of the fight. The battlefield was littered with debris, but the sense of victory was palpable. "That was amazing, Naruto," Sakura exclaimed, her eyes shining with admiration. "You really took charge out there." "Yeah. I couldn't have done it without you guys," Naruto replied, still buzzing with adrenaline. "We make a great team." Sasuke gave a rare smile, his expression a mixture of respect and relief. "We need to stay alert. They might not be done yet." Just then, the proctor of the Chunin exams emerged from the shadows, his expression grave. "You three did well to fend off the attack, but the exams are far from over. We need to regroup and assess the situation." Naruto nodded, feeling a sense of responsibility settle over him. "What can we do to help?" "We need to ensure the safety of all participants and assess the damage done," the proctor instructed. "It's crucial that we protect the remaining teams." With a renewed sense of purpose, Naruto and his teammates set to work, assisting in gathering the injured and offering support to those in need. The camaraderie among the participants grew stronger as they banded together against the common threat. As the sun began to rise, casting a warm glow over the battlefield, Naruto took a moment to reflect. He had faced the darkness and emerged victorious, not just as a fighter but as a protector. The Goro Goro no Emi had given him incredible powers, but it was the bonds he shared with his friends that truly empowered him. "Whatever happens next, we'll face it together," he promised, looking at Sasuke and Sakura. "We're a team," with determination burning in his chest. Naruto knew that this was only the beginning. The Chunin exams would challenge him in ways he couldn't yet imagine. But he was ready to rise to the occasion, his heart filled with the electric energy of his new powers. The journey ahead would test them all, but Naruto Uzumaki was prepared to show the world what he was capable of, lightning and thunder embodied. As the sun rose higher in the sky, casting its golden rays over the exam site, the atmosphere shifted. The sounds of battle had faded, replaced by the low murmur of participants discussing the rogue attack and its implications. Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura took a moment to catch their breath, the adrenaline still coursing through their veins. "Looks like we handled that pretty well," Naruto said, a wide grin spreading across his face. "I mean, did you see how I zapped that guy? I was like a one-man army." Sasuke rolled his eyes but couldn't suppress a smirk. "You're getting ahead of yourself. We did it together. Remember? It's not all about flashy techniques." Sakura chimed in, her voice filled with warmth. "But you did save a lot of people, Naruto. Your powers really made a difference." Before they could continue, the proctor's voice cut through the chatter, calling for everyone's attention. "All participants, gather around. We need to address the situation." The trio quickly made their way over, joining the crowd of shinobi as the proctor began to speak. His expression was serious, and the weight of his words hung in the air. "Due to the recent attack, we will be changing the format of the remaining Chunin exams. The written test will be eliminated, and we will proceed directly to the final combat rounds." A wave of murmurs swept through the gathered participants. Many looked relieved, while others appeared anxious. Naruto felt a surge of excitement. This was what he had been waiting for, the chance to prove himself in direct combat. However, the proctor continued, raising a hand to quiet the crowd. "The first round of battles will be conducted in pairs, and the remaining participants will be randomly matched against each other." Naruto's heart raced at the thought of fighting in the next round. "This is it. I can't wait to show what I can do," he exclaimed, practically bouncing on his toes. Sasuke raised an eyebrow. "Don't get too cocky. We don't know who we'll be facing." Before Naruto could respond, a voice interrupted their conversation. Uzumaki, Uchiha. A tall, imposing figure stepped forward, his demeanor exuding confidence. It was Kiba Inuzuka, flanked by his loyal companion, Akamaru. Ready to lose? You too? Naruto smirked, excitement igniting within him. You think you can take me on? I'm just getting started. Sakura laughed, shaking her head. You're both too loud. Let's focus on the matches ahead. As the proctor prepared to draw names for the matchups, Naruto felt the energy in the air shift. He could sense the tension among the participants, each of them keenly aware that the next few moments could change everything. The proctor began pulling names from a scroll, announcing each matchup with clarity. Naruto held his breath, anticipation building as the matches unfolded. He watched as teammates were paired against one another, and rivalries were ignited. But when his name was finally called, he felt a mix of excitement and nerves. Uzumaki Naruto versus Aburame Shino, the proctor declared, and the crowd erupted in a mix of cheers and gasps. Shino? Naruto muttered, glancing at his opponent. The stoic Aburame was known for his mastery of insects, a unique and formidable skill that Naruto knew could present a challenge. Guess I'll have to be careful. Good luck, Naruto, Sasuke said, clapping him on the shoulder. You'll need it. Naruto nodded, his confidence unwavering. Thanks. I'll show him what I'm made of. As he stepped forward to the designated arena, the crowd settled into an eager hush. The battleground was surrounded by spectators, their eyes filled with curiosity and excitement. Naruto squared his shoulders, ready to face Shino. Let's see what you can do, Naruto, Shino said, his voice calm and collected. I won't hold back, Naruto declared, channeling the electric energy surging within him. He could feel the power of the Goro Goro no Mi pulsing through his veins, eager to be unleashed. Begin, the proctor shouted, signaling the start of the match. Naruto wasted no time. He immediately launched a bolt of electricity toward Shino, hoping to catch him off guard. The crackling energy shot forward, illuminating the arena as it surged toward the Aburame. But Shino calmly activated his defenses, summoning a swarm of insects that formed a protective barrier. The insects absorbed the electric attack, dispersing the energy harmlessly. Impressive, Shino said, his tone devoid of emotion. But you'll have to do better than that. Naruto grinned, undeterred by the initial setback. All right, let's see how you handle this. He focused, channeling more energy into his next attack. The air thickened with electricity, and he unleashed a powerful wave of energy that surged outward, creating a stunning display of light. Shino responded swiftly, directing his insects toward Naruto to counter the attack. The swarm buzzed with an eerie intensity, swarming around Naruto in an attempt to ensnare him. But Naruto's instincts kicked in. He deftly sidestepped the advancing insects, weaving between them with agility. Too slow, he taunted, his confidence soaring. He felt the thrill of the battle igniting his senses, the electricity surging through him like a lifeblood. Drawing upon his new powers, he concentrated on the ground beneath Shino, summoning an electric shockwave that rippled through the arena. The ground shook, and Shino's insects scattered as the energy surged upward, causing him to momentarily lose his footing. That's more like it, Naruto shouted, seizing the opportunity to charge forward. Now I've got you. Shino quickly regained his composure, but Naruto was already upon him. He launched a flurry of punches, electrifying each blow with the energy coursing through him. Shino adeptly defended himself, countering with swift movements and releasing a wave of insects that swarmed around Naruto. Watch out, he yelled, narrowly dodging the buzzing swarm. With instinctive reflexes, he unleashed a bolt of lightning, redirecting the current toward the swarm, and the electric energy sparked as it connected with Shino's insects, causing them to scatter in all directions. Naruto's heart raced with excitement as he pushed forward, channeling his energy into a powerful uppercut aimed directly at Shino. But just as he was about to land the blow, Shino released a burst of insects, creating a cloud that obscured Naruto's vision. Now, my turn, Shino said, his voice calm amidst the chaos. He swiftly directed his swarm toward Naruto, aiming to overwhelm him with sheer numbers. In the thick of the swarm, Naruto could barely see. "I won't let you take me down that easily," he yelled, summoning his energy. He focused on the electric charge within him, feeling it building to a critical point. With a sudden burst of will, he unleashed a massive wave of electricity, sending it outward in all directions. The electric surge crackled through the air, illuminating the cloud of insects as they were blown away, leaving only Shino standing at the center, momentarily stunned. "Got you!" Naruto shouted, seizing the moment. He charged forward, ready to strike, but Shino quickly regained his composure, summoning a barrier of insects to defend himself. "Don't underestimate me," Shino exclaimed, a hint of determination creeping into his voice. The barrier held, but Naruto's sheer momentum and force caused it to crack under pressure. With one final push, Naruto focused all his energy into a single, concentrated bolt of lightning and unleashed it at Shino's barrier. The explosion of electric energy lit up the arena, and for a moment, everything was consumed by the brilliance. As the smoke cleared, the crowd fell silent. Naruto stood, breathing heavily, but Shino remained standing, albeit slightly battered. The tension hung in the air as everyone awaited the proctor's decision. "Enough," the proctor declared, stepping forward. "Both participants have shown incredible skill and resilience. However, due to Naruto's decisive offensive capabilities, I declare him the winner." The crowd erupted in cheers, and Naruto felt a surge of triumph course through him. He had done it. Not only had he proven himself in front of the crowd, but he had also shown that he could harness his powers effectively. "Nice job, Naruto," Sasuke shouted from the sidelines, a rare smile on his face. "Way to go," Sakura cheered, beaming with pride. Naruto couldn't help but smile back at his teammates, the victory lifting his spirits higher than ever. "Thanks, guys. I couldn't have done it without you." As he left the arena, Naruto felt a renewed sense of purpose. The battles ahead would be tougher, but with the power of the Goro Goro no Mi at his disposal and the support of his friends, he was ready to take on anything that came his way. The Chunin exams had transformed into a true test of strength and resolve, and Naruto was determined to prove himself, not just as a ninja but as a protector of his village. With the first round behind him, the anticipation of the next battle surged within him. He knew that he had to remain vigilant, as each opponent would present new challenges. But he was ready. After all, he was Naruto Uzumaki, and he would rise to any challenge with the spirit of a true warrior. As the sun reached its zenith, casting a warm glow over the exam site, Naruto reveled in the exhilaration of his victory against Shino. The crowd buzzed with excitement, conversations swirling around the outcome of the first matches. Though he had proven his strength, Naruto knew that the Chunin exams were far from over, and the real challenges were yet to come. Sasuke and Sakura approached him, their expressions a mix of pride and concern. "You did great out there, Naruto," Sakura said, her eyes shining with admiration. "But don't get too cocky. The next rounds are going to be tougher." "Yeah," Sasuke added, crossing his arms. "You might face someone much stronger next time." Naruto nodded, understanding the gravity of the situation. "I know, but I can handle it. With the Goro Goro no Mi, I've got powers that can take anyone down. Just remember," Sasuke cautioned, "power alone isn't enough. You need strategy and focus too." "Right," Naruto agreed, determination sparking in his eyes. "I'll keep that in mind." As they made their way to the stands to watch the next match, Naruto's mind raced with thoughts of the upcoming battles. He spotted Kiba in the arena, facing off against a competitor from the Rain Village. The energy in the air crackled with anticipation as the proctor called for the next match to begin. Kiba wasted no time, charging forward with Akamaru at his side. "Let's go, Akamaru," he shouted, launching into a series of rapid attacks. His speed and ferocity were impressive, and Naruto couldn't help but cheer for his friend. "Go get him, Kiba," he yelled, clapping his hands together. The crowd erupted in cheers as Kiba displayed his fighting skills, seamlessly coordinating with Akamaru. But just as Naruto began to relax and enjoy the show, he sensed a shift in the atmosphere. The clouds above darkened, a shadow looming over the arena as if heralding a storm. He turned his gaze to the sky, and a shiver ran down his spine. Something didn't feel right. Suddenly, a loud crack echoed through the air, followed by a blinding flash of light. Naruto shielded his eyes, the intensity momentarily blinding him. When the light faded, the arena was thrown into chaos. "Everyone, stay calm," the proctor shouted, trying to regain control over the situation. But it was too late. Panic swept through the crowd as they realized that the source of the disturbance was a group of rogue ninjas who had infiltrated the Chunin exam grounds once more. "Not again," Naruto exclaimed, his heart racing. "Why won't they give up?" "Stay focused," Sasuke said, his demeanor shifting to that of a strategist. "We need to organize and protect the participants." Naruto's resolve hardened. "Right. Let's show them what we're made of." As the rogue ninjas began to attack, Naruto felt the energy surge within him, igniting the power of the Goro Goro no Mi. "I won't let them ruin the exams again," he shouted, charging forward with his teammates. The electric energy crackled around him, illuminating the chaos as he prepared to unleash his abilities once more. Kiba and Akamaru had already engaged a group of rogue ninjas, their teamwork unparalleled as they fought to defend their fellow competitors. Naruto joined the fray, channeling his lightning powers to create a protective barrier for those who needed it. "Everyone, stay together," he yelled, directing his electric energy toward the attackers. Bolts of lightning arced through the air, striking down rogue ninjas and scattering them in all directions. With each strike, Naruto felt his confidence grow. He was no longer just fighting for himself. He was fighting for everyone at the exams. "This time, we won't let them win." As he battled through the throngs of attackers, he caught sight of Sasuke, who was deftly maneuvering through the chaos with his Sharingan activated. He moved like a shadow, his strikes precise and deadly, taking down rogue ninjas with a calculated grace. "Nice moves, Sasuke," Naruto shouted, his voice filled with admiration. But there was no time to dwell on it. The battle was fierce, and they needed to stay focused. Sakura had taken a defensive position, using her medical ninjutsu to help the injured. "I can't believe they're attacking again," she exclaimed, her expression filled with determination. "We need to protect everyone," Naruto nodded, feeling the weight of responsibility settle over him. "We have to make sure everyone gets out of this safe. Let's team up." With renewed energy, the trio coordinated their efforts, Naruto launching lightning attacks to stun opponents while Sasuke moved in for the finishing blows. Sakura provided support, healing anyone who was injured and offering encouragement to her teammates. The battle raged on, and with each passing moment, Naruto felt more and more empowered. The electric energy coursing through him became an extension of his will, guiding him as he fought alongside his friends. "Over here," Kiba shouted, his voice rising above the chaos. "We need backup." Naruto turned to see Kiba and Akamaru surrounded by a group of rogue ninjas. "Hang on. I'm coming," he called out, charging forward with determination. With a flick of his wrist, he unleashed a massive electric wave, dispersing the attackers and clearing a path for Kiba. "Thanks, Naruto," Kiba shouted, panting heavily. "Let's finish this." The rogue ninjas, realizing they were outmatched, began to retreat. But Naruto wasn't going to let them get away that easily. "We can't let them escape," he shouted, feeling the surge of electricity build within him. Just as he was about to launch a final attack, a powerful figure emerged from the shadows. It was the leader of the rogue ninjas, the same man who had taunted them earlier. "You think you can stop me? You're all fools," he bellowed, his voice filled with malice. Naruto felt a chill run down his spine. "You again?" he exclaimed, anger bubbling within him. "We won't let you ruin this. Prepare yourselves," the leader shouted, channeling dark energy as he summoned a wave of shadows that surged toward the group. "Get back," Sasuke yelled, pushing Sakura away as he activated his Sharingan, preparing to counter the attack. But Naruto, fueled by the power of the Goro Goro no Mi, stood his ground. "No, I can take him," he shouted, focusing all his energy into a single, powerful bolt of lightning. The air crackled with tension as he unleashed the attack, illuminating the darkened arena. The clash of energies created a deafening explosion, throwing everyone back as the darkness met the brilliance of Naruto's lightning. In that moment, he felt invincible, the rush of power coursing through him. As the dust settled, Naruto stood firm, his eyes locked onto the leader of the rogue ninjas. "You're not going to win," he declared, determination shining in his gaze. The rogue leader, visibly shaken, staggered back. "This isn't over," he snarled, before retreating into the shadows, his remaining forces following suit. The crowd erupted in cheers, the tension dissipating as the immediate threat subsided. Naruto felt a mix of exhilaration and relief wash over him. They had done it. They had fought off the attackers and protected their friends. As the dust settled, Naruto turned to his teammates, a triumphant grin spreading across his face. "We did it together." Sakura beamed at him, her spirit lifted. "You were amazing, Naruto. Your lightning techniques really turned the tide." "Yeah," Sasuke agreed, a hint of a smile creeping onto his face. "You've really come a long way." But Naruto knew this was just the beginning. The Chunin exams were proving to be a true test of character, strength, and teamwork. With the rogue ninjas retreating, the adrenaline began to fade, replaced by the reality of what lay ahead. "We need to be ready for anything," he said, determination in his voice. "If they come back, we'll be ready." As the proctor gathered everyone to assess the situation, Naruto felt the thrill of battle still buzzing within him. He had faced danger head-on and emerged victorious alongside his friends. But deep down, he understood that true strength wasn't just about power. It was about unity and resilience. The Chunin exams were far from over. But with the bond they had forged, Naruto knew they could face any challenge that came their way. Together, they would rise to meet the storms ahead, armed with the power of friendship and the electric energy of the Goro Goro no Mi. And as the sun began to set, casting a warm glow over the arena, Naruto felt a surge of hope and anticipation. The battles to come would test them in ways they couldn't yet imagine. But he was ready to stand tall, lightning coursing through him as a symbol of his resolve. The Chunin exams had turned into a battle for more than just titles. It was a fight for their dreams, their friendships, and their village. And Naruto was determined to see it through to the end. The day of the final matches dawned bright and clear, the sun casting its golden light over the arena. The air was thick with anticipation, and the gathered crowd buzzed with excitement as they awaited the next round of the Chunin exams. Naruto could feel the tension in the atmosphere, a palpable energy that sent a thrill down his spine. Today, he would face new challenges that would test not only his strength but also his resolve. As he made his way to the arena with Sasuke and Sakura, Naruto replayed the events of the previous battles in his mind. He had felt a surge of confidence after his victory over Shino, but the appearance of the rogue ninjas had been a harsh reminder that danger lurked around every corner. He was determined to be ready for whatever lay ahead. Once they reached the arena, Naruto took a moment to survey the crowd. Spectators filled the stands, their faces painted with excitement and curiosity. Among them, he spotted familiar faces: Iruka, Hinata, and even Kakashi, who leaned casually against a wall, his usual relaxed demeanor masking his intense focus. "Hey, Naruto," Kiba called out, approaching him with a grin. "Ready for your next match? You're going to crush it?" "I'm pumped," Naruto replied, his enthusiasm infectious. "Just wait until you see what I can do." As they gathered together, the proctor stepped forward, his expression serious. "Welcome back, everyone. Today, we will continue with the final matches of the Chunin exams. Each competitor will face off against a randomly selected opponent. The winners will advance to the final round, where we will determine the next generation of Chunin." The crowd erupted in cheers, the excitement palpable as the proctor continued. "Now, let's get started. First up, we have..." He paused dramatically, pulling a scroll from his pocket. "Uchiha Sasuke vs. Nara Shikamaru." Sasuke stepped forward, his expression calm and collected. "This will be easy," he muttered. But Naruto knew better than to underestimate Shikamaru. He was a strategic genius and had a knack for outsmarting his opponents. As Sasuke and Shikamaru squared off in the arena, Naruto watched intently. The match began, and Shikamaru's shadows danced around him, attempting to ensnare Sasuke. But Sasuke was quick, dodging with agility and unleashing a flurry of kunai to disrupt Shikamaru's concentration. "Come on, Sasuke!" Naruto shouted, his voice ringing through the arena. "You got this!" The match unfolded with a back-and-forth exchange of techniques. Shikamaru using his shadow jutsu to manipulate the battlefield while Sasuke relied on his speed and Sharingan to anticipate and counter the moves. The crowd watched in awe, captivated by the display of skill. "Looks like Sasuke's got the upper hand," Sakura said, her eyes glued to the match. Naruto nodded, his heart pounding. "Yeah, but Shikamaru is tricky. He'll find a way to turn the tables if he gets the chance." Just as he predicted, Shikamaru adapted, using the environment to his advantage. With a clever maneuver, he managed to ensnare Sasuke in his shadow, immobilizing him for a brief moment. "Got you!" Shikamaru exclaimed, his voice laced with triumph. Sasuke struggled against the hold, but just as it seemed Shikamaru would gain the upper hand, he unleashed a burst of chakra. Breaking free from the shadow's grip. "Not that easily," Sasuke shouted, launching himself toward Shikamaru with newfound determination. The battle reached its climax, and in a breathtaking display of strategy and power, Sasuke emerged victorious. The crowd erupted into cheers as he bowed to Shikamaru in respect. "Nice job," he said, acknowledging the strategist's skills. "Yeah, you too," Shikamaru replied, a hint of a smile breaking through his typically laid-back demeanor. "Next up," the proctor called, drawing everyone's attention back to the matchups. Haruno Sakura vs Inuzuka Kiba. Naruto felt a mix of excitement and nervousness as he watched his friends take the stage. Sakura was a formidable fighter in her own right, but Kiba's speed and agility were always a challenge. As they squared off, he cheered loudly, "You can do it, Sakura!" The match began, and Sakura wasted no time, unleashing a powerful punch aimed at Kiba. He dodged, his reflexes sharp as he countered with a series of swift strikes. Akamaru barked excitedly, leaping into action alongside his partner. "Don't hold back, Sakura!" Naruto shouted, his voice echoing through the arena. He could see the determination in her eyes as she focused, channeling her chakra to enhance her strength. The clash of their techniques created shockwaves that resonated through the arena. In a stunning display of teamwork, Sakura and Kiba exchanged blows, each seeking to outmaneuver the other. But Sakura's relentless training began to show its results as she executed a perfectly timed counterattack, using her enhanced strength to knock Kiba off balance. The crowd erupted into cheers as Sakura secured her victory. Her face lit up with joy. "I did it!" she exclaimed, her eyes sparkling with pride. Naruto couldn't help but smile, his heart swelling with happiness for his friends. "You were amazing, Sakura." As the matches continued, Naruto's anticipation grew. He knew that his turn was coming soon, and he felt a mix of excitement and nerves. The proctor announced the next matchup, and Naruto leaned forward, eager to hear who he would face. Uzumaki Naruto vs Temari. At the mention of her name, a hush fell over the crowd. Temari, the fierce kunoichi from the Sand Village, stepped into the arena, her fan held confidently at her side. Naruto's heart raced. He had heard of her skills and knew she would be a formidable opponent. "All right, time to show her what I'm made of," he declared, stepping forward into the arena with a fierce determination. The proctor signaled for the match to begin, and Naruto wasted no time, summoning the electric energy within him. "Let's do this," he shouted, channeling the power of the Goro Goro no Mi. Temari, ever the strategist, quickly assessed the situation. "You think you can take me down with that flashy technique?" she taunted, twirling her fan. "Let's see if you can keep up." Naruto grinned, undeterred by her challenge. "I won't hold back." He unleashed a series of lightning bolts, crackling with energy as they shot toward Temari. With a flick of her fan, Temari created a gust of wind that redirected the lightning strikes harmlessly into the sky. "Is that all you've got?" she retorted, her voice cool and confident. "Not even close," Naruto shouted, gathering his energy for a more powerful attack. He felt the electric charge building within him, a raw force waiting to be unleashed. As he charged forward, Temari retaliated with her wind techniques, creating a barrier of slicing wind that threatened to push him back. But Naruto was determined. He pushed through, his will unwavering as he summoned an electrifying surge of energy. The clash of their powers created a stunning display of light and sound, the arena vibrating with energy. Naruto's bolts of lightning clashed with Temari's wind, creating a spectacular explosion that sent shockwaves rippling through the crowd. "Keep it up, Naruto." Sakura cheered from the sidelines, her voice cutting through the chaos. With the crowd's encouragement fueling him, Naruto focused his energy, channeling it into a massive, concentrated bolt of lightning. "This ends now," he shouted, unleashing the attack with all his might. Temari's eyes widened as she recognized the intensity of his strike. "You're stronger than I thought," she exclaimed, bracing herself as she called upon her wind techniques to counter the overwhelming force. The collision of their powers sent a blinding flash of light throughout the arena, momentarily obscuring everything. When the light faded, Naruto stood firm, his heart racing as he watched Temari struggle against the overwhelming force of his attack. "I won't back down," he shouted, determination fueling his every move. "I will protect my friends." With a final surge of energy, Naruto pushed through, forcing Temari's defenses to falter. The crowd erupted into cheers as he managed to land a decisive blow, sending her sprawling to the ground. Breathing heavily, Naruto approached Temari, extending a hand to help her up. "You fought well," he said, respect evident in his voice. Temari looked up at him, a smirk on her face. "You're stronger than I expected, Uzumaki. I'll admit, I underestimated you." The proctor stepped forward, raising his hand to signal the end of the match. "Uzumaki Naruto is the winner." The crowd roared with excitement, and Naruto couldn't help but smile, feeling the adrenaline of victory coursing through him. He had done it. He had proven himself against a powerful opponent. As he left the arena, he felt the warmth of his friends' support surrounding him. "You were amazing, Naruto," Sakura exclaimed, her eyes shining with pride. "I knew you could do it." "Yeah, that was epic," Kiba added, his enthusiasm infectious. "You really showed her what you're made of." Sasuke nodded, a rare smile on his face. "You've come a long way, Naruto. Keep it up." As the sun began to set, casting a warm glow over the arena, Naruto felt a sense of accomplishment wash over him. He had faced powerful opponents and emerged victorious, but he knew the journey was far from over. The final round of the Chunin exams awaited, and he was determined to push his limits even further. With the power of the Goro Goro no Mi coursing through him, he felt ready to take on whatever challenges lay ahead. The bonds he had forged with his friends had strengthened him, and together they would rise to face the next trials. As the cheers of the crowd echoed in his ears, Naruto felt a renewed sense of purpose and resolve. The Chunin exams were only the beginning, and he was ready to embrace the storm. As the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in hues of orange and pink, the excitement surrounding the Chunin exams reached a fever pitch. The crowd buzzed with anticipation, eager to see which competitors would rise to the top and secure their place as Chunin. Naruto stood backstage, his heart racing as he prepared for the final round. The earlier victories were exhilarating, but now he faced opponents who were just as determined as he was. "Last match, Naruto. You ready?" Kiba's voice broke through Naruto's thoughts, a wide grin plastered on his face. "Yeah, let's do this," Naruto replied, his enthusiasm igniting like the electricity crackling through him. He could feel the electric energy from the Goro Goro no Mi thrumming just below the surface, waiting for the right moment to be unleashed. Each match had pushed him to his limits, and the thought of facing off against the best filled him with exhilaration. "Remember, stay focused," Sakura said, her voice steady. "You've come so far, but this is the final stretch." "Got it. I won't let you down," Naruto exclaimed, determination radiating from him. As the proctor announced the beginning of the final round, the crowd erupted in cheers. The anticipation hung thick in the air, electrifying everyone present. "Welcome to the final round of the Chunin exams. We will begin with our first match, Uchiha Sasuke vs Gaara of the Sand." Naruto felt a knot of anxiety in his stomach at the mention of Gaara's name. He knew Gaara was no ordinary ninja. His reputation for ruthlessness and power was well known, and Naruto admired Sasuke for having the courage to face him. Sasuke stepped into the arena with his usual calm demeanor. His Sharingan activated and focused on the formidable opponent before him. Gaara, standing across the field, exuded an aura of danger. The sand swirled around him like a living entity, ready to obey his command. "Stay strong, Sasuke," Naruto shouted, wishing he could convey his support through sheer will alone. The match began, and the tension in the air was palpable. Sasuke launched into action, darting forward with incredible speed. He attempted to evade Gaara's sand attacks, but Gaara was relentless, manipulating the sand to counter every move. "Come on, Sasuke," Naruto cheered, his heart racing as he watched the battle unfold. Sasuke's skills were impressive, but Gaara's defense was almost impenetrable. As the fight continued, Sasuke relied on his cunning, using shuriken and kunai to distract Gaara. The crowd watched in awe as Sasuke executed a brilliant maneuver, creating an opening for himself. But just as it seemed Sasuke might gain the upper hand, Gaara unleashed a torrent of sand, overwhelming Sasuke with a ferocious attack. "You think you can defeat me?" Gaara sneered, his voice cold and taunting. "I will crush you." Naruto clenched his fists, feeling a wave of frustration wash over him. "No, don't give up, Sasuke." Just then, Sasuke activated his Chidori, the crackling energy illuminating the arena. He charged forward, breaking through Gaara's defenses in a spectacular clash. The audience gasped as the two titans collided, their powers colliding in a blinding explosion that sent shockwaves rippling through the stands. When the dust settled, Gaara stood, albeit slightly shaken, a dark grin spreading across his face. "You're stronger than I thought, Uchiha. But it won't be enough." As the fight intensified, Naruto felt an overwhelming urge to support his friend. "Sasuke, you can do it. Just focus," he shouted, hoping to bolster Sasuke's spirits. In the heat of battle, Sasuke's resolve deepened. He pushed himself further, igniting the flames of his ambition. "I won't back down," he declared, charging once more at Gaara. But as the fight continued, it became evident that Gaara's defense was formidable. Each of Sasuke's attempts to breach it resulted in a counterattack, and it was clear that Gaara was using every trick in his arsenal to maintain his lead. Naruto felt a knot form in his stomach as the battle reached its climax. This can't be how it ends for Sasuke, he thought, urgency coursing through him. Just as it seemed Gaara would secure his victory, Sasuke unleashed his final, desperate attack. "Chidori!" he cried out, his voice filled with fierce determination as he charged at Gaara, his chakra flaring brightly. In a stunning turn of events, Sasuke managed to land a blow, sending Gaara reeling. The arena erupted into applause as Sasuke stood victorious, panting heavily but triumphant. "I did it," he murmured, disbelief etched on his features. "Yeah, you did it, Sasuke," Naruto shouted, elated for his friend. The proctor declared Sasuke the winner, and Naruto felt a swell of pride for his teammate. But there was little time to celebrate, as the next matchup was soon announced. Next up, Uzumaki Naruto vs Neji Hyuga. Naruto's heart raced at the mention of Neji's name. The prodigy of the Hyuga clan was known for his exceptional taijutsu and byakugan, and the pressure weighed heavily on Naruto's shoulders. He couldn't afford to underestimate him, especially not in the final round. Taking a deep breath, Naruto stepped into the arena, his mind racing with thoughts of strategy. Neji stood across from him, calm and collected, his byakugan activated. The confidence radiating from him was intimidating, but Naruto was determined to prove himself. "Prepare yourself, Naruto. You're facing a real opponent now," Neji said, his voice cool and confident. "Yeah, I know. I'll show you what I've got," Naruto replied, gritting his teeth as he prepared to summon his energy. The proctor signaled the beginning of the match, and the two competitors charged at each other. Naruto unleashed a barrage of punches and kicks, channeling the power of the Goro Goro no Mi into his attacks. Lightning crackled around him, illuminating the arena as he fought with everything he had. Neji countered expertly, using his gentle fist techniques to evade and strike back. Your moves are predictable, he taunted, dodging Naruto's attacks with ease. You need to think strategically if you want to win. Naruto's frustration began to bubble over. But he pushed it aside, focusing on finding an opening. I won't let you get away with underestimating me, he shouted, launching himself forward with renewed vigor. With each clash, the energy in the arena intensified. Neji's strikes were precise, but Naruto relied on his unpredictability, channeling his lightning energy into powerful bursts. I won't give up, he yelled, pushing himself to the limit. Neji countered with his Byakugan, predicting Naruto's moves with uncanny accuracy. You relied too much on power alone, he said, a smirk on his face. You need to learn that true strength comes from understanding your opponent. But Naruto refused to back down. With a fierce determination, he tapped into the depths of his power, feeling the electric energy surging within him. I'll show you, he shouted, summoning the full force of the Goro Goro no Mi. In a dazzling display of energy, Naruto unleashed a powerful bolt of lightning, sending it arcing toward Neji. The strike lit up the arena, and the crowd gasped at the sheer power emanating from him. But Neji, with his Byakugan activated, anticipated the attack, dodging it with ease. Is that all you've got? He taunted, his confidence unwavering. Naruto felt a surge of frustration as Neji's smugness only fueled his determination. No, I can't lose here, he yelled, his voice echoing through the arena. With one final push, Naruto charged at Neji, gathering every ounce of energy he had left. I won't back down. I'll show you what I'm made of, he declared, determination blazing in his eyes. The two charged at each other, their attacks colliding in a spectacular explosion of light and energy. The arena shook as Naruto unleashed the full power of the Goro Goro no Mi. And for a moment, time seemed to freeze. In that moment of uncertainty, Naruto felt a surge of hope, the bonds of friendship and camaraderie fueling his resolve. He had come too far to give up now. As the dust began to settle, he felt a new sense of strength rising within him, a belief that he could overcome any obstacle in his path. As the energy dissipated, the arena stood in stunned silence. The spectators held their breath, waiting to see the outcome of the climactic battle. When the dust finally cleared, both competitors stood on their feet, panting heavily, determination etched on their faces. Naruto met Neji's gaze, a newfound respect between them. You're strong, he admitted, his voice steady. But I won't give up. Neither will I, Neji replied, his expression serious. With that, the battle resumed, both fighters pushing themselves beyond their limits, their spirits ignited by the fierce desire to win. The arena pulsed with energy, and the crowd roared with excitement, cheering for their favorite ninjas as the final round of the Chunin exams reached its thrilling climax. With the outcome hanging in the balance, Naruto felt the electric energy surging within him, ready to unleash his full power and prove that he was more than just a dreamer. He was a force to be reckoned with, and he would not back down. The final round awaited, and he was ready to embrace the storm. The arena buzzed with tension as the crowd awaited the next move in the electrifying battle between Naruto and Neji. The air crackled with anticipation, the spectators' cheers echoing around them, reverberating off the walls as the two ninjas faced each other, both panting heavily. Naruto could feel the adrenaline coursing through him, heightened by the power of the Goro Goro no Mi. Every fiber of his being urged him to push harder, to show the world that he was not just an underdog, but a ninja capable of greatness. He had seen the way his friends had fought, and their determination spurred him on. Neji was unfazed, his Byakugan allowing him to read Naruto's movements like an open book. You're strong, but strength alone won't win this match, Neji said, his voice steady, even as the tension hung in the air. You need strategy. Naruto narrowed his eyes, feeling the challenge ignite a fire within him. Strategy? Huh? Let's see if you can keep up with me. He charged forward, lightning crackling around his fists, channeling the power of the Goro Goro no Mi. He was determined to show Neji that he could think on his feet. Neji swiftly dodged Naruto's first strike, his movements precise and calculated. You're too reckless, he admonished, delivering a swift palm strike aimed at Naruto's chest. but Naruto anticipated the move, sidestepping just in time. The force of Neji's attack sending a ripple of air past him. "Don't underestimate me," Naruto yelled, pivoting on his heel to unleash a powerful kick. The lightning energy surged with his movements, crackling in the air like a thunderstorm brewing overhead. He could feel his body pushing the limits. But this was his chance to prove he was more than just a loudmouth. He was a warrior. As Naruto launched himself at Neji again, he felt a shift in the energy around them. It was as if the arena itself was responding to the intensity of their fight, every cheer and gasp adding to the atmosphere. He focused on Neji, searching for an opening, remembering what Kakashi had taught him about perseverance. Neji's expression was serious, his focus unbroken as he began to dodge and weave through Naruto's attacks. "You're quick, but your moves are predictable," Neji taunted, his confidence unwavering. "You need to be more than just fast." In response, Naruto gritted his teeth and summoned all the energy of the Goro Goro no Mi. He concentrated, feeling the storm within him build to a crescendo. "I'll show you predictable," he shouted, channeling his energy into a massive bolt of lightning, the air vibrating with the raw power he unleashed. The lightning bolt shot toward Neji, illuminating the arena in a blinding flash. The crowd gasped collectively, witnessing the culmination of Naruto's determination. But Neji, with his Byakugan activated, anticipated the attack. He maneuvered deftly, using his skill to avoid the brunt of the strike. "Impressive, but not enough," Neji shouted, countering with a series of precise strikes aimed at Naruto's pressure points. Naruto felt the impact of Neji's blows but refused to be deterred. With every hit, he felt the resolve inside him strengthen. "I won't give up," he roared, focusing on the electricity coursing through him. Suddenly, as Neji prepared for another assault, Naruto found his opening. He unleashed a powerful series of punches, the electricity crackling around his fists as he focused on his movements. "Rasengan," he yelled, forming the swirling sphere of chakra in his hand, infused with the power of lightning. The sphere surged with energy, crackling like a mini thunderstorm. He launched it at Neji, who barely had time to react. The Rasengan collided with Neji, sending shockwaves rippling through the arena as the crowd erupted in a roar. Neji staggered back, surprise flickering across his face as the wind was knocked from him. How? He managed, the force of the attack staggering him momentarily. "I'm not just some loudmouth. I've trained for this," Naruto shouted, feeling a rush of exhilaration as he pressed his advantage. With Neji momentarily stunned, Naruto pushed forward, unleashing a barrage of punches and kicks infused with the power of the Goro Goro no Mi. "This is my chance," he thought, pouring everything he had into the attack. But Neji wasn't done yet. Regaining his composure, he activated his gentle fist techniques, ready to counter. "You're strong, but I'll show you the true power of the Hyuga," he shouted, launching a counterattack aimed at Naruto's chakra points. In a flash, the two clashed, their strikes echoing through the arena as they exchanged blows. The energy around them surged, the crowd erupting into cheers as they witnessed the intensity of the battle. Naruto could feel the strain on his body, but he pushed through, refusing to let Neji's skill intimidate him. "I won't back down. I will become Hokage," he declared, channeling his energy once more. Neji's Byakugan gave him the advantage, predicting Naruto's every move. "You're strong, but you're still too reliant on brute force," Neji shouted, expertly dodging Naruto's attacks and countering with precision strikes. "Maybe so, but I'll find a way to win," Naruto replied, his spirit unyielding. With each clash, he felt the storm within him grow, the power of the Goro Goro no Mi surging with every heartbeat. Then, in a moment of clarity, Naruto remembered his training. He had learned to harness the energy of his emotions, to channel his resolve into his attacks. "I need to do more than just hit hard. I need to think," he realized. With a new strategy in mind, he feigned a left punch, causing Neji to react predictably. In that split second, Naruto pivoted and launched a powerful kick aimed at Neji's side, his lightning-infused chakra bursting forth. Neji's eyes widened in realization. But it was too late. The kick landed, sending him sprawling to the ground. The arena erupted in cheers, the crowd on their feet, witnessing the shift in momentum. Yeah, I got him, Naruto shouted, feeling exhilaration wash over him. But he knew he couldn't let his guard down. Neji was still a formidable opponent. Neji struggled to his feet, determination etched on his face. I won't lose to you, he declared, a fierce light in his eyes. I will prove that the Hyuga are superior. The two stood opposite each other, both exhausted but unwilling to give in. We'll see about that, Naruto yelled, channeling all his energy into one final attack. I'm not backing down. The crowd held its breath as Naruto summoned the full force of the Goro Goro no Mi. The lightning crackling around him like a tempest. Rasen Shuriken, he shouted, the swirling mass of chakra and lightning forming in his hand. With a mighty roar, he launched the Rasen Shuriken at Neji, who braced himself for the impact. You won't defeat me, he shouted, preparing to counter. The clash sent shockwaves through the arena, blinding flashes of light illuminating the stands. The energy surged as the two attacks collided, the force reverberating throughout the stadium. As the dust began to settle, the spectators held their breath, waiting for the outcome. Naruto stood tall, heart pounding, as he awaited the result of their fierce confrontation. When the dust finally cleared, both Naruto and Neji stood on their feet, breathing heavily, determination blazing in their eyes. The crowd erupted into applause, but it was clear that the battle had taken a toll on both competitors. With a shared nod of respect, Naruto and Neji acknowledged each other's strength. You fought well, Naruto said, his voice steady. Neji nodded, acknowledging the spirit that had fueled Naruto's attacks. You're stronger than I expected, Naruto. But this isn't over yet. As the proctor stepped forward to announce the winner, Naruto felt a wave of uncertainty wash over him. Regardless of the outcome, he had proven to himself that he could stand against formidable opponents, that he was no longer just the underdog. But deep down, he knew this was only the beginning. The path to becoming Hokage was fraught with challenges, and he was determined to face them head-on. As the final results were announced, Naruto felt the weight of his dreams pressing against him, igniting a fire that would guide him through whatever lay ahead. With newfound resolve, he prepared to face whatever challenges awaited him, the storm within him ready to be unleashed. The battle for his dreams had just begun. As the echoes of the crowd reverberated through the arena, Naruto stood there, panting heavily, adrenaline still coursing through his veins. He had pushed himself to his limits, and while the outcome of the match hung in the air, he felt an overwhelming sense of accomplishment. No matter what, he had given it his all. Uzumaki Naruto is the winner. The proctor's voice boomed, cutting through the chaos. The crowd erupted into cheers, a wave of exhilaration washing over him. Naruto felt a rush of pride swell within him, a grin spreading across his face as he raised his fists in triumph. I did it! I actually won! He shouted, feeling the euphoria of victory. His friends, Sakura, Sasuke, Kiba, and Hinata, pushed through the throngs of people, their faces beaming with pride. Naruto, you were amazing! Sakura exclaimed, her eyes shining with admiration. That was insane. Man, you really showed Neji. Kiba added, slapping Naruto on the back, nearly knocking him over. Good job, Naruto. You really surprised me, Sasuke said, his voice steady, but there was a hint of respect in his tone. Congratulations, Naruto, Hinata said softly, a shy smile on her face. You fought so bravely. Thanks, everyone, Naruto replied, feeling the warmth of their support wrap around him like a comforting blanket. It was moments like this that reminded him why he fought so hard. His friends were everything to him. As the cheers subsided, the proctor announced the next match. But for Naruto, the world around him began to fade as he absorbed the moment. He had grown so much since the beginning of the Chunin exams, not just in power but in spirit. He felt a strong connection to the Goro Goro no Mi, the energy within him resonating with every heartbeat, amplifying his confidence. Hey, Naruto, ready for the next round? Kiba's voice broke through his reverie. Naruto turned to see the next set of competitors getting ready. Yeah, I'm ready for anything. Bring it on, he declared, the thrill of battle still igniting his spirit. Just remember. The finals are coming up. You need to stay focused. Sakura cautioned, her brow furrowed with concern. I'm not going to let anything stop me from becoming Hokage. Naruto replied, determination fueling his words. With the first match concluded, the excitement of the next match propelled the atmosphere. Neji, still catching his breath, approached Naruto with a newfound respect in his eyes. You've grown stronger, Naruto. I underestimated you, he said, extending his hand in a show of goodwill. Naruto grasped Neji's hand firmly, feeling the strength in his grip. Thanks, Neji. You're pretty amazing yourself. I learned a lot from this match, he replied, appreciating the acknowledgement. Just remember, there's more to being a ninja than just power, Neji said, his demeanor more serious. You need to understand your opponents and the world around you. Naruto nodded, absorbing the words. I get it. I still have a lot to learn. But I won't give up. As the matches continued, Naruto settled into the sidelines, watching the other competitors. The intensity of the battles, each ninja pushing their limits, filled him with awe. He marveled at the skill and determination displayed by each contestant, grateful for the chance to be part of it all. But amidst the excitement, a foreboding sense lingered in the air. Whispers among the crowd suggested that something bigger was at play, and Naruto couldn't shake the feeling that the Chunin exams were merely a prelude to something far more dangerous. Hey, Naruto. Focus. Kiba's voice snapped him out of his thoughts. It's your turn again. What? Already? Naruto exclaimed, shaking off his thoughts as he prepared for the next battle. The adrenaline surged through him again, and he stepped back into the arena, ready to face his next opponent. The proctor announced, next match, Uzumaki Naruto vs Temari of the Sand. The crowd roared, their excitement palpable. Naruto focused on the entrance, where Temari stepped forward, her fans at the ready, confidence radiating from her. She was known for her formidable wind techniques. And Naruto knew he had to stay sharp. Let's see what you've got, Naruto, she said, her voice calm and collected. I'm ready, he replied, channeling the energy of the Goro Goro no Mi, feeling the electricity surging within him. The proctor signaled the start of the match, and Temari wasted no time, immediately unleashing a gust of wind with her fan. The force of it knocked Naruto back, but he quickly regained his footing, determined not to be intimidated. Nice try. But I'm not going down that easy, he shouted, channeling his lightning chakra and launching himself at Temari. He dodged another powerful gust, feeling the thrill of the challenge. Rasengan, he shouted, attempting to close the distance between them. Temari countered with a powerful blast of wind, forcing Naruto to redirect his energy. You'll have to do better than that, she taunted, expertly using her fans to manipulate the air around them. Naruto's mind raced as he considered his next move. He needed to think strategically, not just rely on raw power. Drawing on the lessons he had learned from Neji and his training, he decided to use the environment to his advantage. He darted to the side, avoiding Temari's wind blasts, and quickly formed a plan. Time to mix it up, he shouted, channeling the energy of the Goro Goro no Mi. Let's see how you handle this. In a burst of determination, he created a small storm of electricity around him, lightning dancing through the air. With a powerful leap, he launched himself at Temari, unleashing a barrage of electric-infused punches. Temari's eyes widened in surprise as Naruto's lightning strikes illuminated the arena. She quickly adjusted her strategy, using her fans to create a protective barrier of wind. You're stronger than I thought, she admitted, but there was no backing down now. Just wait until you see what I can really do, Naruto shouted, his energy surging as he pushed through her defenses, his lightning-infused attacks striking true. With each clash, the arena filled with the crackling energy of their battle. Temari countered with her wind techniques, creating powerful gusts that threatened to push Naruto back. But he held his ground, refusing to be swept away. Rasen Shuriken, he roared, forming the swirling sphere of energy infused with lightning, launching it at Temari. She tried to counter with a strong gust of wind, but the force of the Rasen Shuriken was too powerful. The two attacks collided in a blinding explosion of energy. sending shockwaves throughout the arena. As the dust settled, the audience held its breath, waiting for the outcome. When the smoke cleared, both competitors stood, exhausted but determined. Naruto felt the weight of their battles pressing on him, but he also felt the surge of energy from the Goro Goro no Mi propelling him forward. "Is that all you've got?" he challenged, feeling the excitement of the moment fueling his resolve. Temari, slightly winded but unfazed, smirked at him. "You're tougher than I expected, Naruto. But I'm not finished yet." With renewed determination, the two charged at each other once more, the crowd roaring in excitement. The final battle was upon them, and Naruto was ready to embrace the challenge. This was only the beginning of his journey, and he was prepared to face whatever obstacles lay ahead. He would not let his dreams of becoming Hokage slip away. He would rise to the challenge and prove himself worthy. With each clash, the arena surged with energy, the spirit of competition igniting a fire within him. He was not just fighting for himself, he was fighting for his friends, his village, and the dreams that bound them all together. The battle between Naruto and Temari intensified, both competitors refusing to back down. Naruto's heart raced as he focused on the task at hand. This was more than just a match, it was a testament to his growth, his strength, and his unwavering spirit. As the next move loomed, he was ready to show the world what he could do, to harness the power of the storm within him and emerge victorious. The Chunin exams were just the beginning of his journey, and he was determined to leave his mark on the world. As the clash between Naruto and Temari intensified, the atmosphere within the arena shifted. The crowd could feel the tension electrifying the air, their cheers becoming a rhythmic pulse that echoed the excitement of the battle. Temari adjusted her stance, her eyes sharp and focused. "You're tougher than I thought, but I won't let this chance slip away," she declared, fanning her chakra to unleash another powerful gust of wind. The air around her swirled with energy as she prepared to launch her next attack. Naruto braced himself, the power of the Goro Goro no Mi coursing through him. He could feel the electricity crackling at his fingertips, heightening his senses and amplifying his instincts. "I won't back down either," he shouted, determination fueling his words. "Let's do this." In an instant, Temari sent a slicing wind toward him, sharp and unforgiving. Naruto dodged to the side, the wind rushing past him and ripping through the arena. He needed to find a way to close the distance, to engage her directly. "Here goes," he yelled, channeling his lightning-infused chakra into his legs as he propelled himself forward, the ground beneath him cracking from the sheer force of his movement. Rasengan. As he closed the gap, he spun, forming the spiraling sphere of chakra in his hand. Temari, seeing his approach, quickly countered with a massive gust of wind, attempting to push him back. But Naruto, drawing on the power of the Goro Goro no Mi, felt the storm within him roaring to life. With a fierce shout, he thrust the Rasengan forward, combining it with a surge of lightning. Rasen Shuriken. The attack transformed, becoming a swirling mass of electricity that shot toward Temari, illuminating the arena with a dazzling glow. Temari's eyes widened in shock as the attack bore down on her. She quickly attempted to create a wind barrier, but the combined force of Naruto's attack was overwhelming. The Rasen Shuriken collided with her gusts, creating an explosion that lit up the arena, sending a shockwave that rattled the stands. When the dust settled, both ninjas stood their ground, panting heavily. Naruto's heart raced, exhilaration coursing through him. He had put everything into that attack, and he could feel the power of the Goro Goro no Mi surging in response to his determination. Temari adjusted her stance, a newfound respect in her eyes. "You're incredible, Naruto," she admitted, a smirk playing on her lips. "But I'm not finished yet." With that, she launched herself forward, her fans swirling as she summoned a cyclone of wind. The arena buzzed with anticipation as the two combatants prepared for their next clash. Naruto squared his shoulders, ready to meet the challenge head-on. As Temari unleashed a barrage of wind blades, Naruto dodged and weaved, his instincts sharp and his reflexes heightened by the energy within him. He could feel the electricity buzzing through his body, enhancing his every movement. "You can't catch me that easily," he yelled, darting left and right. He leapt into the air, using the momentum to propel himself higher, And with a burst of power, he shot down toward Temari, channeling the storm that brewed inside him. "Here comes the thunder," he declared, his voice echoing through the arena. "Not if I can help it," Temari retorted, quickly forming her next attack. As Naruto descended, she unleashed a concentrated wave of wind, aiming to knock him off course. The air crackled with energy as their attacks collided, creating a massive shockwave that sent both fighters reeling. Naruto hit the ground with a thud but quickly sprang back to his feet, refusing to let the impact deter him. "You got some moves, Temari. But I'm just getting started," he shouted, his spirit unyielding. He felt the energy inside him swelling, and with a fierce roar, he began to gather the lightning chakra once again. "Rasengan," he shouted, his voice ringing with determination. He formed the swirling sphere, infusing it with the energy of the storm. As he prepared to unleash his attack, Temari grinned. "You're strong, Naruto. But this time, I won't hold back," she replied, positioning her fans for one final strike. The two charged at each other, the arena buzzing with excitement as they prepared for the climactic finale. "Rasen Shuriken," Naruto shouted, launching his attack with all his might. "Futon, Great Sickle Weasel," Temari countered, the wind swirling around her fans as she unleashed a torrent of slicing wind blades. The two attacks collided in a spectacular explosion, light and energy bursting forth in a dazzling display. The crowd gasped in awe, their excitement reaching a fever pitch. The arena was illuminated as the energy crackled and swirled around them, an electrifying testament to their determination. As the smoke began to clear, the outcome of the battle remained uncertain. Naruto stood firm, his breath ragged, every fiber of his being alive with the power of the Goro Goro no Mi. He had given everything he had, and the spirit within him surged with the thrill of battle. When the dust settled completely, both fighters stood facing each other. Fatigue etched on their faces, but there was an undeniable spark of respect between them, a recognition of each other's strength and resilience. The proctor stepped forward, his voice cutting through the tension. "This match has been incredible. Both competitors have shown remarkable skill and determination. The winner is Uzumaki Naruto." The arena erupted into cheers, the crowd rising to their feet in a cacophony of excitement. Naruto felt a rush of elation, the thrill of victory surging through him. He had proven himself once again, not just to his friends and village, but to himself. As he raised his fists in triumph, his teammates rushed to his side, showering him with congratulations. "You did it, Naruto," Sakura exclaimed, her voice filled with joy. "That was awesome. You totally rocked it." Kiba cheered, his energy infectious. "Great job, Naruto. I knew you could do it." Hinata added, her smile radiant. "Looks like you're one step closer to your dream." Sasuke remarked, his tone steady but the hint of admiration unmistakable. Naruto beamed at his friends, the warmth of their support enveloping him like a shield. "Thanks, everyone. I couldn't have done it without you all cheering me on." As the arena began to clear for the next match, Naruto took a moment to reflect on his journey so far. Each battle had brought him closer to his dreams, and the power of the Goro Goro no Mi had become an integral part of who he was as a ninja. He could feel the storm within him growing, and with it, his resolve. But he also knew that the road ahead was fraught with challenges. The Chunin exams were just the beginning, and he was aware that powerful foes awaited him, testing his strength and determination. As he watched the next competitors prepare for their battles, Naruto felt a sense of purpose wash over him. He would face whatever came his way, ready to embrace the storm. He was Uzumaki Naruto, and he would become Hokage, no matter what it took. The announcer's voice cut through his thoughts. "Next up, Ino Yamanaka vs Shikamaru Nara." With a grin, Naruto turned his attention back to the matches, cheering on his friends. He knew that they all had their own battles to fight, each one as important as his own. Together, they would rise stronger than ever. As the next round unfolded, Naruto felt the excitement building within him. He was ready for whatever lay ahead. With each battle, he would grow stronger, and nothing would stand in his way. The storm was just beginning, and he was prepared to unleash it upon the world. Chapter 11. bonds and rivalries. As the Chunin exams progressed, Naruto felt the energy in the air change. The initial thrill of the competition was giving way to a deeper understanding of the bonds between the ninjas fighting for their dreams. Each match was not just a test of strength. It was also a testament to the friendships and rivalries that shaped them. After his hard-fought battle with Temari, Naruto found himself reflecting on the importance of teamwork. He thought back to the lessons he had learned alongside his friends, Sasuke, Sakura, and even those who had once been his rivals. Their journeys intertwined, each one pushing the other to grow stronger. The next match was unfolding in front of him. Ino Yamanaka was facing off against Shikamaru Nara, two of his fellow Konoha ninjas. Naruto watched with keen interest, knowing that their match would reveal much about their unique abilities. "Come on, Ino. You can do it," Naruto shouted, his voice echoing through the stands. Ino, brimming with confidence, focused on Shikamaru, who was his usual laid-back self, hands in his pockets, analyzing the situation. "You know you can't win, right?" he said, his voice casual as he sized her up. "I'll just put you to sleep. Not if I can help it. I'm going to show you what I've got," Ino replied, determination shining in her eyes. The battle commenced, and Ino launched her signature mind-body switch technique, attempting to take control of Shikamaru's body. But Shikamaru, ever the strategist, quickly countered with his shadow possession jutsu, ensnaring Ino's movements. The crowd gasped, tension rising as the two engaged in their mental battle. Naruto could feel the weight of their rivalry, the history they shared as friends and opponents. "Come on, Ino. Don't give up," he shouted, hoping to inspire her. As the match unfolded, it became clear that Ino was pushing herself to break free from Shikamaru's grasp. With a fierce determination, she fought against his shadow, trying to outwit him. The battle was intense, showcasing their skills and the deep bond that had grown between them over the years. Ino's resolve shone through, and for a moment, Naruto felt a surge of pride for his fellow shinobi. When Ino finally broke free, launching a fierce counterattack, the crowd erupted into cheers. "That's it, Ino. Keep pushing," Naruto urged, excitement bubbling within him. In the end, it was a close match, with both competitors giving their all. But Shikamaru, with his strategic thinking, ultimately emerged victorious. As he helped Ino to her feet, Naruto could see the mutual respect between them. It was a reminder that their bonds were unbreakable, no matter the outcome of the matches. As the next competitors prepared for their battles, Naruto reflected on the importance of these connections. Each fight was more than just a test of strength. It was a celebration of the friendships that fueled their determination. With renewed vigor, Naruto turned his focus back to the upcoming matches. He could feel the storm brewing within him, the Goro Goro no Mi empowering him with each passing moment. He was ready to embrace whatever challenges lay ahead. As the tournament continued, he cheered on his friends, feeling the thrill of camaraderie and competition. Together, they would rise, stronger than ever, united in their dreams of becoming the best shinobi they could be. The Chunin exams were far from over, and Naruto was ready to face whatever awaited him in the next round. He would show the world the true power of friendship and the strength of the storm within him. As the Chunin exams continued, Naruto's excitement didn't wane. The energy in the arena crackled with anticipation as the battles unfolded one after another. Each match revealed new strengths and strategies, showcasing the talent of the participating ninjas. But amid the excitement, Naruto felt a restless energy brewing within him, a reminder of the power of the Goro Goro no Mi coursing through his veins. After Shikamaru's victory, the next matches drew closer. Each ninja showcased their skills, pushing the limits of what Naruto believed possible. He found himself captivated, not just by the techniques, but by the emotional connections that fueled their battles. This was not merely about winning, it was about proving themselves, their bonds, and their dreams. Then came the announcement that drew Naruto's attention. "Next up, Nara Shikamaru vs Temari," the proctor declared, and the arena erupted in cheers. As Temari stepped into the ring, a determined glint sparkled in her eyes. "I'm ready, Shikamaru. Let's see if you can keep up with me," she called out, twirling her fan in preparation. Shikamaru, with his signature laid-back demeanor, merely sighed, running a hand through his hair. "I'll try to make it quick. This is such a drag," he replied, clearly aware of the challenge ahead. As the match began, Naruto watched with keen interest, knowing that Shikamaru would need to employ every ounce of his intellect to outsmart Temari's wind techniques. The two began exchanging moves, and Naruto felt the tension in the air. The battle was strategic, Shikamaru's mind working rapidly, calculating his next steps, while Temari unleashed powerful gusts of wind, testing his limits. "Come on, Shikamaru. You can do it," Naruto shouted, hoping to encourage his friend. "Think ahead." Shikamaru took a deep breath, his mind racing through options. With a flick of his wrist, he initiated his shadow possession jutsu. The shadows stretched out, seeking to ensnare Temari. She quickly countered, using her fan to create a barrier of wind that deflected his technique. Naruto's heart raced as the battle escalated. Temari was a formidable opponent, and it was clear she was not going to hold back. "You'll have to do better than that," she taunted, sending a powerful gale toward Shikamaru. "Focus, Shikamaru. You got this," Naruto encouraged, his voice cutting through the noise of the crowd. But Shikamaru seemed to be struggling, pushed back by Temari's relentless assault. He analyzed every move she made, looking for an opening. "I can't keep up with her like this," he muttered, frustration creeping into his voice. Then, in a moment of inspiration, Shikamaru pivoted, using his shadows to create a decoy. He transformed it into an illusion, causing Temari to hesitate. "Now!" he exclaimed, seizing the moment. With calculated precision, he launched a secondary attack from a different angle, successfully capturing her shadow. The crowd erupted into cheers as Shikamaru finally gained the upper hand. "Gotcha!" he shouted, a rare smile breaking through his usually stoic expression. But Temari wasn't finished. Using her wind to break free momentarily, she created a whirlwind around herself, launching debris in all directions. "I won't give up that easily," she shouted, determination radiating from her. Shikamaru struggled against the sudden onslaught of wind, his shadow technique faltering. "This is such a drag," he muttered, trying to regain control. "Focus, Shikamaru. Remember your training," Naruto shouted, his heart racing. He could feel the tension in the air, a mixture of excitement and worry for his friend. As the battle raged on, Naruto felt the Goro Goro no Mi stirring within him. The energy crackled at his fingertips, a reminder of the power he held. It was tempting to step in, to use his abilities to help Shikamaru. But he knew that each ninja needed to find their own path. The match continued, with both ninjas showcasing their abilities. Shikamaru, with his strategic mind, began to outmaneuver Temari. He anticipated her moves, countering her attacks with finesse. But Temari's wind was relentless, and she adapted quickly, launching an assault that caught him off guard. "Look out, Shikamaru!" Naruto yelled, sensing the danger. In a split second, Temari unleashed a powerful gust, sending Shikamaru tumbling across the arena. The crowd gasped, worry etched on their faces. Naruto's heart sank. He knew Shikamaru was capable of overcoming this. But would he? The battle reached its climax as both ninjas pushed their limits. Shikamaru, breathing heavily, steadied himself. "I can't let this end here," he murmured, determination igniting within him. As he prepared for one final push, Naruto felt a surge of inspiration. "You can do this, Shikamaru. Just like we practiced," he shouted, his voice unwavering. With renewed resolve, Shikamaru activated his shadows once more, this time focusing his chakra and aligning it with the flow of the wind. "Shadow Strangle Jutsu," he called, pushing his energy to its limits. Temari was caught off guard, and for a moment, time seemed to stand still. The shadows surged forward, encasing her and restricting her movements. "No way!" she gasped, realizing the danger. With a triumphant grin, Shikamaru declared, "It's over, Temari. You fought well. But you're not getting away this time." As the shadows tightened, the arena erupted in cheers. The crowd could feel the tension breaking, the victory for Shikamaru imminent. But just as it seemed Temari would be defeated, she summoned one final burst of wind, releasing herself from the shadows and sending a counterattack that knocked Shikamaru off his feet. Both ninjas fell to the ground, exhausted and panting. The proctor stepped forward, assessing the situation. Both competitors have shown incredible skill and determination. This match will end in a draw. The crowd erupted in applause, recognizing the strength of both fighters. Naruto jumped to his feet, cheering for Shikamaru. "You did it, man. That was amazing," he shouted, pride swelling within him. Shikamaru grinned, a sense of relief washing over him. "Thanks, Naruto. I guess I really pushed it this time," he admitted, brushing dirt off his clothes. Temari approached, a smile breaking through her earlier intensity. "You fought well, Shikamaru. It was a tough battle," she acknowledged, extending her hand. Shikamaru took it, a mutual respect forming between them. "Yeah, you too. Let's have a rematch sometime." As the arena began to clear for the next match, Naruto felt invigorated. Each battle strengthened the bonds between them, revealing the strength of their connections as teammates and rivals. "All right, who's up next?" he wondered aloud, excitement bubbling inside him. His attention turned back to the proctor as he announced, "Next up, Uchiha Sasuke vs. Gaara." The crowd roared with anticipation, and Naruto's heart raced. He knew Sasuke was facing a formidable opponent, and he felt a surge of protective energy. "Sasuke, you got this," he shouted, hoping to bolster his friend's confidence. As Sasuke stepped into the arena, his expression was focused, determination written all over his face. Gaara, with his sand swirling around him, was equally imposing, an aura of darkness emanating from him. Naruto's excitement turned into concern. He knew the power Gaara possessed, but he also believed in Sasuke's strength. The two ninjas squared off, and the match began. "Sasuke, be careful," Naruto yelled, his heart pounding in his chest. The battle commenced, each ninja showcasing their techniques. Sasuke moved with precision, his Sharingan activated, anticipating Gaara's every move. Gaara responded with his sand, forming defensive barriers and launching attacks that could devastate anyone unprepared. As the battle escalated, Naruto felt the Goro Goro no Emi within him, urging him to tap into that power. He wanted to protect his friends, to help them achieve their dreams. But he also knew that this was Sasuke's fight, and he had to trust in his abilities. The clash between Sasuke and Gaara was intense, the crowd on the edge of their seats. Naruto watched intently, adrenaline coursing through his veins as each technique unfolded before him. "Come on, Sasuke. Show him what you've got," he yelled, his voice full of conviction. As the match reached its climax, Sasuke launched a powerful attack, and Naruto could feel the atmosphere shift. The stakes were higher than ever, and the outcome of this battle would determine more than just victory. It would define their paths as ninjas. The arena buzzed with excitement as Sasuke and Gaara clashed, their destinies intertwining in this epic showdown. And Naruto stood at the heart of it all, ready to support his friends, his spirit unwavering as he embraced the storm within him. As the dust settled from the climactic match between Sasuke and Gaara, the atmosphere in the arena crackled with energy. The crowd buzzed with excitement and disbelief, having witnessed the fierce battle unfold. Naruto stood at the edge of his seat, heart racing as Sasuke emerged from the confrontation, victory etched on his face despite the exhaustion in his eyes. "Yeah, Sasuke, you did it," Naruto cheered, throwing his fists into the air, a wide grin spreading across his face. The bond they shared, forged through countless battles and shared dreams, felt stronger than ever. Sasuke acknowledged Naruto's cheers with a nod, though his expression remained serious, the weight of the matches pressing on him. "It's not over yet, Naruto. We still have more rounds to go," he reminded, his eyes scanning the arena for the next competitors. As the proctor announced the next matches, Naruto felt a mixture of excitement and nervousness. "Who's next? I hope it's not someone too scary," he joked, trying to lighten the mood. The arena filled with laughter, easing the tension. However, the next match featured a familiar face, Neji Hyuga. Naruto felt a pang of anxiety as he recalled their previous encounter. Neji was a formidable opponent. His skills honed through intense training and the prodigious abilities of the Hyuga clan. He knew that Neji was determined to prove himself in this tournament. The proctor introduced Neji's opponent, and Naruto felt a moment of unease when he heard the name. And his opponent is Nara Shikamaru. Naruto's heart dropped. He felt a rush of concern for Shikamaru, who had just fought Temari. He knew Shikamaru was capable, but Neji's talent was undeniable. Come on, Shikamaru. You can beat him. Naruto shouted, his voice filled with determination. The match began, and Naruto watched intently as Neji utilized his Byakugan, the veins around his eyes bulging as he assessed Shikamaru's movements. Shikamaru, however, displayed his signature laid-back style, observing Neji's attacks with a calm demeanor. Stay focused, Shikamaru. Remember your strategies. Naruto called, urging his friend to take action. Neji struck first, launching a barrage of taijutsu attacks. Shikamaru skillfully dodged and countered, using his shadows to gain the upper hand. But as the fight progressed, Naruto could see the toll of fatigue weighing on Shikamaru. He had pushed himself hard in his previous match, and Neji was relentless. Think, Shikamaru. You can outsmart him. Naruto shouted, his fists clenched in anticipation. Neji, with his superior speed and precision, seemed to have the advantage. You think you can outsmart me? The fate of the Hyuga clan is not to be taken lightly, he declared, unleashing a flurry of strikes that forced Shikamaru into a defensive position. The crowd watched in silence, captivated by the fierce exchange. Shikamaru's mind raced, calculating his next move while trying to fend off Neji's powerful attacks. I need to find a way to turn this around, he murmured to himself, feeling the pressure mounting. Then, in a moment of inspiration, Shikamaru initiated his shadow possession jutsu, attempting to catch Neji off guard. The shadows stretched out, seeking to ensnare him. But Neji was quick, using his agility to evade the attack and retaliate with a devastating blow. Naruto felt his heart sink as Shikamaru staggered back. No? Get up, Shikamaru, he yelled, desperation creeping into his voice. Neji continued to press the advantage, demonstrating his mastery of the gentle fist style. You're strong, but your strategies won't save you now, he taunted, landing a critical strike on Shikamaru's abdomen. The impact knocked the wind out of Shikamaru, and Naruto felt a wave of fear wash over him. He couldn't let his friend lose like this. A surge of energy surged through him as he felt the Goro Goro no Mi pulsing within. I have to help, he thought, instinctively preparing to step into the ring. But just as he was about to intervene, Shikamaru gritted his teeth, pushing through the pain. I won't give up, he whispered, determination igniting within him. With a newfound resolve, Shikamaru activated his technique once more, this time focusing on the flow of chakra. Shadow Strangle Jutsu, he called out, infusing his shadows with the power he had gained through training. Neji, momentarily surprised, felt the shadows wrap around him, restricting his movements. What? No, he exclaimed, trying to break free. The crowd erupted in cheers as Shikamaru regained control. I won't let you win this time, Neji, he shouted, determination radiating from him. As the shadows tightened, Neji struggled, but Shikamaru's strategy was in full effect. The two ninjas were locked in a fierce battle of wits and will, each fighting for their dreams. Come on, Shikamaru. You can do it, Naruto shouted, his voice cutting through the tension in the air. With one final push, Shikamaru forced Neji to his knees, a triumphant smile breaking through his exhaustion. The crowd roared in approval as the proctor stepped forward to declare the winner. Shikamaru Nara wins, he announced, and the arena erupted into applause. Naruto leapt up, cheering for his friend. You did it, Shikamaru. I knew you could win, he yelled, pride swelling within him. Shikamaru, panting heavily, grinned at Naruto's encouragement. Thanks, Naruto. I had to give it my all, he admitted, a sense of relief washing over him. As the next match began to unfold, Naruto felt a renewed sense of purpose. Each battle brought them closer together, solidifying their bonds as friends and comrades. They were not just competing against others. They were fighting for each other, pushing one another to become stronger. With the next match approaching, Naruto couldn't shake the feeling of anticipation brewing inside him. The power of the Goro Goro no Mi was waiting to be unleashed. A storm of potential ready to be harnessed. As the proctor announced the next contestants, Naruto's heart raced. "Alright, let's see what we can do," he declared, determination etched on his face as he prepared for the challenges ahead. The Chunin exams were far from over, and he was ready to embrace the storm within him, standing side by side with his friends as they chased their dreams together. With the intense atmosphere still hanging in the arena, Naruto felt an electric thrill course through him. The battles had showcased incredible skill, but he knew his turn was coming. He had prepared for this moment, and he could sense the Goro Goro no Mi's energy thrumming beneath the surface, eager to be unleashed. The proctor announced, "Next up, Uzumaki Naruto vs. Kankuro." Naruto's excitement surged. Kankuro was known for his mastery of puppetry and strategy, making him a worthy opponent. But Naruto's confidence had grown, bolstered by the power he now possessed. "Alright, let's do this," he shouted, stepping forward into the arena, determination radiating from him. Kankuro entered, his trademark puppet, Karasu, hovering behind him. "I hope you're ready, Naruto. My puppets won't go easy on you," he said, a smirk playing on his lips. Naruto grinned back. Undeterred, "I'm ready for anything. Just bring it," he declared, feeling the storm within him swirling, waiting for the right moment to strike. As the match began, Kankuro quickly manipulated his puppet, launching a barrage of poisoned blades toward Naruto. The crowd gasped as Naruto dodged expertly, his instincts honed through countless battles. The Goro Goro no Mi pulsed within him, enhancing his reflexes, allowing him to move with incredible speed. "Is that all you've got?" Naruto taunted, adrenaline fueling his excitement. He felt invincible, the energy of the fruit giving him confidence. "I'll show you real power," Kankuro smirked, clearly unfazed. "You think you can outmatch a puppet master? Let's see how long you can keep that up," he retorted, activating Karasu's advanced techniques. The puppet launched multiple attacks in quick succession, creating a whirlwind of danger. But Naruto had learned from every battle, adapting and growing stronger. As the blades flew toward him, he tapped into the energy of the Goro Goro no Mi, summoning the storm around him. "Goro no Nami," Naruto called out, raising his hands as arcs of electricity crackled around him. The energy burst forth, forming a shield that deflected Kankuro's attacks, sending sparks flying. The crowd erupted into cheers, stunned by the display of power. Naruto felt exhilarated, the thunder of applause fueling his spirit. "That's right. I'm just getting started," he shouted, his confidence soaring. Kankuro's expression shifted to one of surprise. "What? How did you?" But he quickly regained his composure. "Don't underestimate me, Naruto. Karasu. Let's go," he ordered, pulling the strings to manipulate his puppet with renewed intensity. Karasu unleashed a torrent of attacks, but Naruto was ready. He darted to the side, using the speed granted by the Goro Goro no Mi to evade the projectiles. "You can't hit me if I'm too fast," he exclaimed, laughter bubbling within him. With each movement, Naruto felt the storm inside him grow stronger. The Goro Goro no Mi offered him immense power, and he was determined to use it to protect his friends. "Now it's my turn," Naruto shouted, summoning the full force of his abilities. He channeled the energy into a single point, gathering lightning at his fingertips. "Raiden. Rasenro," he declared, releasing a spiraling wave of lightning that surged toward Kankuro. The energy surged through the arena, illuminating the space in brilliant flashes. Kankuro's eyes widened as he realized the impending danger. "Karasu, defend," he commanded, trying to shield himself with his puppet. But the power of the Goro Goro no Mi was overwhelming. The lightning tore through Karasu's defenses, sending it crashing to the ground. Kankuro stumbled back, eyes wide with disbelief. Naruto felt a surge of triumph. "I told you I'm not backing down. This is my time to shine," he declared, the power of the storm echoing in his voice. With Kankuro on the defensive, Naruto advanced, channeling his energy into each strike. He felt unstoppable, the combination of his training and the power of the Goro Goro no Mi pushing him beyond his limits. The crowd roared, swept up in the excitement of the match. Naruto reveled in the energy around him, the thrill of battle igniting his spirit. "Let's finish this," he shouted, preparing to unleash one final attack. Kankuro, however, was not finished yet. "I won't give up that easily. Karasu. Activate. Puppet Jutsu. Multi-shadow clones," he called, creating multiple replicas of his puppet. Naruto felt a twinge of concern. "Oh, that could be trouble," he muttered, eyeing the approaching puppets. But with the power of the Goro Goro no Mi, he knew he could handle it. "Raiden. Jiku no Hikari," he declared, summoning a massive surge of electricity that enveloped the arena. The energy crackled and surged around him, overwhelming the clones as they rushed forward. The crowd gasped as Naruto unleashed a torrent of lightning, obliterating Kankuro's puppets and pushing through to Kankuro himself. "You can't stop me," he yelled, feeling the surge of power driving him forward. With one final strike, Naruto connected with Kankuro, sending him sprawling to the ground. The proctor stepped in, assessing the situation. "Uzumaki Naruto wins," he announced, the arena erupting into a frenzy of cheers. Naruto raised his arms in victory, a beaming smile on his face. "I did it! I won!" he shouted, feeling the exhilaration of triumph wash over him. As he walked back to his friends, the adrenaline still coursing through him, Naruto couldn't help but feel a sense of pride. He had proven himself in the Chunin exams, but more importantly, he had embraced the storm within him, a powerful force that would guide him on his journey. His friends rushed to congratulate him, their faces beaming with pride. "That was incredible, Naruto," Sakura exclaimed, her eyes shining with admiration. "You really showed Kankuro what you can do." Sasuke nodded, a rare smile on his face. "You fought well, Naruto." "That was impressive," he admitted, surprising Naruto. "Thanks, guys. I couldn't have done it without your support," Naruto replied, feeling the warmth of friendship surrounding him. As the next match was announced, Naruto felt a sense of anticipation. The Chunin exams were far from over, and he was ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. With the power of the Goro Goro no Mi at his fingertips, he was prepared to embrace his destiny, standing alongside his friends as they fought for their dreams. As the excitement from Naruto's match against Kankuro settled, the arena buzzed with energy, spectators eager for the next round of the Chunin exams. Naruto felt a heady mixture of adrenaline and determination coursing through him. He had come a long way, and the power of the Goro Goro no Mi had transformed not only his abilities but also his confidence. "All right, who's up next?" he called out, leaning forward in his seat, eager to see who would face him next. His eyes scanned the arena, filled with excitement and anticipation. The proctor's voice cut through the chatter, announcing, "Next up, Ino Yamanaka versus Tamari of the Sand." Naruto's heart raced. He knew Ino was strong, but Tamari was a seasoned kunoichi with skills that could dominate opponents. "Come on, Ino. You can do it," he cheered, feeling a mix of nerves and encouragement for his friend. As the two girls entered the arena, the atmosphere shifted. Tamari, with her fan in hand, looked calm and collected, while Ino was clearly focused, ready to prove herself. The match began, and the crowd fell silent, eyes glued to the spectacle unfolding before them. Tamari wasted no time, launching a powerful gust of wind toward Ino with her fan. Ino, however, was quick to react. "Mind-body switch jutsu," she declared, using her signature technique to attempt to take control of Tamari's body. But Tamari, aware of the potential danger, countered swiftly. "Not so fast. Wind scythe jutsu," she shouted, creating a barrier of wind that thwarted Ino's attempt. The crowd gasped as Ino narrowly dodged, her heart pounding with the intensity of the match. "Stay strong, Ino. You've got this," Naruto shouted, urging her on. Ino gritted her teeth, determination blazing in her eyes. "I won't back down," Tamari. She replied, adjusting her strategy. She attempted to create a diversion, using her clones to confuse Tamari while searching for an opening. But Tamari was relentless, using her fan to whip up powerful gusts that sent Ino's clones scattering. You think you can hide from me? Wind is my ally, she taunted, her confidence radiating as she prepared for another attack. Ino, undeterred, regrouped. I can't give up. I'll show you my strength, she declared, rallying her focus. She summoned her chakra, channeling it into her next attack. Mind transfer jutsu, she shouted, determined to seize control of the battle. As the technique launched, Tamari braced herself. You won't catch me off guard again, she shouted, using her fan to create a powerful gust that disrupted Ino's technique. The two clashed, their abilities lighting up the arena. Naruto watched with bated breath, feeling the weight of their rivalry and friendship. Come on, Ino. You can turn this around, he yelled, clenching his fists. Ino fought back with everything she had, using her quick wit to outmaneuver Tamari. I won't let you win. I'm stronger than you think, she cried, unleashing a series of clever feints and attacks. Despite her valiant efforts, Tamari remained steadfast, countering Ino's techniques with expert precision. The match reached a fever pitch, with both girls pushing their limits. But ultimately, Tamari's experience began to shine through. With one final blast of wind, she caught Ino off guard, sending her sprawling to the ground. Tamari wins, the proctor announced, and the crowd erupted in applause. Ino looked disappointed, but she stood tall, a fire still burning in her eyes. You fought well, Ino, Naruto shouted, encouraging her as she returned to the sidelines. You'll get them next time. Ino managed a smile, though it was tinged with exhaustion. Thanks, Naruto. I'll come back stronger, I promise, she replied, determination rekindled. As the next match was announced, Naruto couldn't shake the feeling of anticipation. Who's up next? He mused aloud, shifting in his seat. Next up, Sasuke Uchiha versus Gaara of the Sand. The proctor called. Naruto's heart skipped a beat. Gaara was a dangerous opponent, known for his ruthless techniques and formidable defense. Sasuke had grown stronger. But Naruto couldn't shake the anxiety he felt for his friend. Sasuke, be careful, he shouted, a mixture of worry and support in his voice. The arena fell silent as the two competitors faced off. Sasuke's expression was focused, a determined look in his eyes as he prepared for the fight. Gaara, with his sand swirling around him, appeared calm and collected, his demeanor betraying a hint of malice. The match began, and Gaara immediately launched a wave of sand towards Sasuke, who swiftly countered with his own techniques. Fire style, fireball jutsu. Sasuke yelled, releasing a massive fireball that collided with Gaara's sand. Naruto watched, tension mounting in the air. The battle was fierce, both ninjas displaying their strengths with each move. Sasuke showcased his skills, but Gaara's defense seemed impenetrable. Come on, Sasuke. You can break through, Naruto shouted, willing his friend to triumph. Gaara retaliated, forming a massive sand shield that absorbed Sasuke's flames. You're too weak to defeat me, Uchiha, he taunted, his voice dripping with disdain. Your struggles are futile. Sasuke gritted his teeth, determination etched across his features. I won't lose to you, he shouted, channeling his chakra into his next attack. Chidori, he declared, electricity crackling in his hand as he charged toward Gaara. The crowd gasped, sensing the intensity of the moment. Gaara braced himself, sand swirling to protect him, but Sasuke's speed and power were formidable. You can't hide behind your sand forever, Sasuke yelled, lunging forward with incredible force. The two collided, a shockwave erupting from the impact. Naruto felt the energy radiating around him, and for a moment, everything seemed to freeze. Then, in an instant, Gaara's defenses shattered, sending him sprawling backward. The arena erupted in cheers, Naruto's voice rising above the crowd. Yes. Go, Sasuke, he shouted, pride swelling in his chest. Gaara, however, quickly regained his composure. a cold smirk on his face. "You're stronger than I thought, Uchiha. But you won't win that easily," he declared, the sand around him shifting ominously. Naruto's heart raced as he watched the battle unfold. Sasuke had the upper hand, but Gaara's tenacity was unnerving. "Stay focused, Sasuke. You can beat him," he yelled, encouraging his friend. The two continued to exchange blows, each one testing the limits of their abilities. Sasuke executed a series of high-speed attacks, but Gaara's sand seemed to anticipate his moves, deflecting each strike with an almost supernatural precision. "Sand coffin," Gaara shouted, the ground shaking as he summoned his sand to ensnare Sasuke. The sand wrapped around him, constricting with immense pressure. "No, Sasuke!" Naruto yelled, panic flooding his chest. But Sasuke wasn't finished yet. "No way, I'm giving up," he growled, channeling his chakra into his Sharingan. With a burst of energy, he broke free, his eyes blazing with determination. "I won't let you control this fight." With newfound strength, Sasuke unleashed a flurry of attacks, weaving in and out of Gaara's defenses. The crowd watched in awe as Sasuke's determination radiated from him, pushing him beyond his limits. Just as it seemed Sasuke had the upper hand, Gaara unleashed his ultimate move. "Sand burial!" he roared, the arena trembling as the sand surged towards Sasuke like a tidal wave. "Sasuke! Watch out!" Naruto shouted, feeling helpless as he watched the scene unfold. But Sasuke, refusing to give in, focused all his energy. "I can't lose. Not here," he yelled, summoning every ounce of power within him. The clash between Sasuke's resolve and Gaara's relentless attack created an explosion of energy that shook the very ground beneath them. Naruto could feel the intensity of the battle, the air crackling with tension. The arena erupted in chaos, spectators on the edge of their seats. Naruto clenched his fists, his heart racing. "Come on, Sasuke. You can do it," he urged, every fiber of his being willing his friend to victory. With one final surge of energy, Sasuke broke through Gaara's defenses, delivering a decisive blow. "This ends now," he declared, the power of his resolve propelling him forward. Gaara stumbled back, shock etched across his face. "No, I can't lose," he muttered. But it was too late. The proctor stepped in, declaring, "Sasuke Uchiha wins." The crowd erupted into cheers, Naruto leaping to his feet, ecstatic. "You did it, Sasuke. You beat Gaara," he yelled, a wide grin spreading across his face. Sasuke, panting heavily, nodded in acknowledgement. "Thanks, Naruto," he said, though his expression remained serious. The weight of the battle still lingering. As the next round approached, Naruto felt a mixture of pride and determination. The Chunin exams were a proving ground, a testament to their growth as ninjas. With the power of the Goro Goro no Mi fueling him, he was ready for whatever lay ahead. Next up, Naruto Uzumaki vs Sasuke Uchiha, the proctor announced, and Naruto's heart raced. "Here we go," he shouted, excitement coursing through him. This was it, the match he had been waiting for. He had the power of the Goro Goro no Mi at his disposal, and now he would face his closest rival. As he stepped into the arena, he could feel the energy shift. He and Sasuke were destined to clash, and he was ready to show everyone just how strong he had become. "Let's see what you've got, Naruto," Sasuke said, a determined glint in his eye. "Bring it on, Sasuke. I'm not holding back," Naruto replied, adrenaline coursing through him. The crowd watched in anticipation. Two friends turned rivals preparing to unleash their full potential in an epic showdown that would define their destinies. With the thunder of the storm raging inside him and the Goro Goro no Mi ready to be unleashed, Naruto knew this battle would be one for the ages. The arena was set, and he was ready to embrace the storm. The arena crackled with anticipation as Naruto faced Sasuke, the weight of their friendship and rivalry hanging heavy in the air. The crowd fell into an expectant hush, eyes trained on the two ninjas. Naruto could feel the energy swirling around him, the power of the Goro Goro no Mi pulsing within him like a heartbeat. "Ready, Sasuke?" Naruto called, his voice confident. though he felt the familiar flutter of nerves in his stomach. Always, Sasuke replied, his gaze unwavering. Let's end this. As the proctor raised his hand, signaling the start of the match, Naruto drew on his chakra, feeling the familiar rush of electricity surging through his veins. Here I come, he shouted, charging forward, intent on making a statement. Sasuke reacted instantly, his Sharingan activating as he dodged Naruto's initial charge. You're fast, but you'll have to do better than that, he taunted, leaping to the side and retaliating with a quick, fire style. Phoenix Fire Jutsu. Flames erupted from Sasuke's mouth, shooting toward Naruto in a blazing stream. Naruto narrowed his eyes, quickly channeling his lightning. Raiden. Shiden, he shouted, summoning a wave of electricity that intercepted the fireballs, creating a spectacular explosion of energy that lit up the arena. The crowd gasped, their excitement palpable. Naruto grinned, feeling exhilarated. Not bad, Sasuke. But I can do better, he shouted, channeling more of the Goro Goro no Mi's power into his next attack. Let's see it. Sasuke replied, his expression fierce as he prepared for Naruto's counter. Gathering his energy, Naruto thrust his hand forward, releasing a torrent of lightning that arced toward Sasuke. Raiden. Jiku no Hikari. He yelled, the power surging forth in a brilliant flash. Sasuke's eyes widened. Chidori. He countered, charging forward with a spiraling ball of electricity aimed straight for Naruto. The two attacks collided in a massive explosion, sending shockwaves rippling through the arena. Dust and debris filled the air, and both ninjas were thrown backward by the force of the impact. Naruto rolled to his feet, shaking off the effects of the blast. He could see Sasuke standing a short distance away, equally determined. You're stronger than I thought, Sasuke admitted, his expression serious. Thanks, but I'm just getting started, Naruto shouted, feeling the adrenaline surge through him. Let's kick it up a notch. With a fierce battle cry, Naruto summoned his chakra once more. Channeling the energy of the Goro Goro no Mi into his next move. I'm going to show you my true strength, he declared, raising his hands to the sky. The sky darkened, swirling clouds gathering overhead. Storm cloud summon, he shouted, the air crackling with energy as lightning flashed around him. The crowd gasped in awe, recognizing the immense power Naruto was tapping into. Impressive, Naruto, Sasuke said, his expression a mix of admiration and caution. But I won't back down either. He focused, gathering his chakra. I'm going to show you the true power of the Uchiha, he declared, preparing for his own ultimate technique. Tsukuyomi. Naruto felt the pressure of Sasuke's chakra, and for a brief moment, he hesitated. But he remembered the strength he had gained and the friends who believed in him. Not this time, Sasuke, he shouted, the storm raging around him intensifying. With a burst of energy, Naruto unleashed a massive lightning bolt from above, striking down towards Sasuke with incredible force. Raiden. Raijin no Ikari. He yelled, the energy illuminating the arena in a blinding flash. Sasuke barely had time to react. He summoned his chakra, weaving through hand signs and activating his own defenses. Fire style. Great Fireball Jutsu. He shouted, releasing a massive fireball to counter Naruto's lightning. The two techniques clashed, the arena erupting into chaos. The heat from the fireball met the cold intensity of the lightning, creating a spectacular display of energy that lit up the night sky. Come on, Naruto. You can't lose, he urged himself, pushing back against the weight of Sasuke's attack. Drawing on the full potential of the Goro Goro no Mi, he focused, channeling more chakra into his lightning. With a final surge of power, Naruto broke through, the lightning bolt surging past Sasuke's fireball and striking him directly. Got you, he shouted, feeling the exhilaration of victory wash over him. Sasuke staggered back, surprised by the force of the attack. I won't give up, he gasped, determination etched across his face. Naruto, breathing heavily, watched as Sasuke steadied himself. You're incredible, Sasuke. But I'm not done yet, he declared, ready to unleash one final attack. Sasuke narrowed his eyes, focusing on the energy around him. Neither am I, he responded, determination igniting within him. The two ninjas charged at each other, their chakra colliding as they prepared for the ultimate showdown. The air buzzed with energy, the arena shaking from the intensity of their powers. Chidori! Sasuke yelled, his hand glowing with electricity as he surged forward. Raiden! Rasenro! Naruto roared, spiraling energy gathering at his fingertips as he rushed towards Sasuke. The clash of their techniques sent a shockwave through the arena, illuminating the night sky. The crowd gasped, witnessing the raw power of two of the strongest ninjas in the village. As the dust settled, both Naruto and Sasuke stood panting, their expressions a mix of exhaustion and exhilaration. I can't believe how strong you've become, Naruto, Sasuke admitted, a slight smile forming on his lips. But I'm still not done. Neither am I, Naruto shouted back, adrenaline still coursing through him. This isn't over yet. As they prepared for another round, Naruto felt the familiar sense of camaraderie rising between them. This battle wasn't just about proving their strength, it was a testament to their growth as friends and rivals. Let's finish this, they shouted in unison, launching into the final phase of their epic duel. With the storm raging around him and the power of the Goro Goro no Mi guiding him, Naruto felt unstoppable. Together, they would push each other to their limits, forging a bond that would last a lifetime. The arena was filled with cheers as the two ninjas clashed once more, determined to show the world their true strength, not just as individuals but as brothers in arms, ready to embrace their destinies together. The crowd erupted with cheers, the atmosphere electric as Naruto and Sasuke prepared for their final clash. With adrenaline pumping through their veins, both ninjas knew this battle would not only define their strength but also solidify their bond as rivals and friends. As they circled each other, Naruto felt the weight of the Goro Goro no Mi within him, the power surging like a tempest. He could feel the energy pulsing, ready to be unleashed. You ready for this, Sasuke? He shouted, a determined grin spreading across his face. Always, Sasuke replied, his eyes sharp with focus. Let's end this for real. With a roar, they charged at each other, the ground trembling beneath their feet. The arena became a battlefield, both ninjas weaving through hand signs with lightning speed. Raiden! Raijin no Akari! Naruto yelled, unleashing a massive bolt of lightning from above, the energy crackling through the air like a raging storm. Chidori! Sasuke countered, charging forward with his signature move, the sound of the crackling electricity echoing like thunder. The two techniques collided in an explosion of energy, lighting up the arena in a blinding flash. The shockwave sent both ninjas tumbling back, but they quickly regained their footing, refusing to back down. Nice try, but I won't let you win that easily, Naruto shouted, feeling the exhilarating rush of battle coursing through him. He summoned more chakra, channeling the immense power of the Goro Goro no Mi into his next move. Time for a storm of my own. With a swift motion, he raised his hands to the sky, calling upon the storm clouds that had gathered above. Storm call, tempest fury, he declared, unleashing a torrent of lightning that rained down upon the arena. Sasuke's eyes widened. Not again, he shouted, quickly summoning his own defense. Fire style, dragon flame jutsu, he countered, launching a wave of fire to intercept Naruto's lightning. The collision of fire and lightning created a breathtaking display of power, the air sizzling with energy. The arena shook under the force of their clash, spectators watching in awe as two of Konoha's finest ninjas battled with all their might. Naruto, driven by the thrill of battle, pressed forward. I won't hold back any longer. Sasuke, this is for all the times you've pushed me, he yelled, summoning the full might of the Goro Goro no Mi. With a flick of his wrist, he summoned a massive bolt of lightning that arced down towards Sasuke. Raiden! Shuriken! He shouted, the energy taking the form of spinning shurikens that flew at incredible speed. Sasuke's determination flared as he leapt aside, narrowly dodging the lightning projectiles. I'm not going to lose to you, Naruto, he replied, his voice fierce. I'll show you the power of the Uchiha. He activated his Sharingan, honing in on Naruto's movements as he prepared for a counterattack. "Kaden! Great fireball jutsu!" he yelled, unleashing a massive fireball that soared toward Naruto. With quick reflexes, Naruto dodged to the side. But the fireball exploded on impact with the ground, sending debris flying. He could feel the heat on his skin, but it only fueled his determination. "Nice try, but you're going to have to do better," Naruto shouted, channeling his chakra into the storm above. "Let's end this." The clouds darkened, and the arena was enveloped in shadows. Lightning crackled ominously, and Naruto focused all his energy into one final attack. "Raiden! Raikoshin!" he called, summoning a gigantic bolt of lightning that descended toward Sasuke with ferocity. "Damn it!" Sasuke exclaimed, realizing the magnitude of the attack. He focused, drawing on the depths of his chakra. "I won't let you take me down that easily." "Susanoo!" he shouted, manifesting a massive ethereal warrior that enveloped him, its protection glowing a deep blue. The lightning struck, illuminating the arena as Naruto's attack collided with Sasuke's Susanoo. The energy crackled and sparked, lighting up the night sky. The force of the collision shook the ground, sending shockwaves rippling through the arena. For a moment, everything was a blinding flash of light, and then silence fell. The crowd watched in breathless anticipation, waiting for the dust to settle. As the smoke cleared, both ninjas stood, breathing heavily, their bodies showing signs of exhaustion. Naruto, panting, felt exhilaration coursing through him. "That was amazing. Sasuke. You're incredible," he exclaimed, unable to hide his admiration. Sasuke nodded, wiping sweat from his brow. "You too, Naruto. You've really grown stronger," he replied, respect evident in his voice. As they stood there, the realization dawned on them. This battle had pushed them to their limits. But it had also strengthened their bond. The proctor stepped forward, looking between the two. "This match has reached its climax, but we have no clear victor," he announced, raising his hand. "Both competitors have demonstrated exceptional skill and power. I declare this match a draw." The crowd erupted into cheers, celebrating the fierce battle they had just witnessed. Naruto and Sasuke exchanged glances, a mix of relief and exhilaration flooding their hearts. "Looks like we're both too strong for each other," Naruto said with a grin, extending a hand toward Sasuke. "Yeah, but that just means we'll have to train harder," Sasuke replied, shaking Naruto's hand firmly. "We'll keep pushing each other until one of us comes out on top." Naruto nodded, feeling a sense of camaraderie that made his heart swell with pride. "I wouldn't want it any other way," he said, feeling the bond between them solidifying even more. As they left the arena, the cheering crowd continued to celebrate the epic battle. Naruto felt a renewed sense of purpose and determination, fueled by the knowledge that he and Sasuke would continue to grow stronger together. "I can't wait for the next challenge," he exclaimed, grinning ear to ear. "We've got to keep pushing ourselves until we reach the top," Sasuke smirked. "You're right. But next time, I won't hold back." With their spirits high and their friendship strengthened, Naruto and Sasuke walked side by side, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead in their journey as ninjas. The Chunin exams were just the beginning, and together, they would conquer every obstacle that came their way. As they exited the arena, the sun began to rise on the horizon, casting a golden light over Konoha. It was a new dawn for both of them, a promise of new adventures and uncharted territory. The world was theirs for the taking, and with the power of the Goro Goro no Mi coursing through him, Naruto felt unstoppable. And as they stepped forward into the future, Naruto knew one thing for sure. This was only the beginning of their incredible journey. Together, they would embrace every storm, every challenge, and emerge stronger than ever before. The aftermath of the Chunin exams buzzed with excitement, the village still buzzing from the incredible battles witnessed. Naruto and Sasuke had solidified their reputations as powerful ninjas, but their journey was far from over. With newfound strength from the Goro Goro no Mi and a bond that had deepened through battle, they were ready to take on whatever challenges lay ahead. As the sun rose higher in the sky, Naruto and Sasuke returned to the village, greeted by the familiar sights and sounds of Konoha. The streets were filled with villagers celebrating the results of the exams. Children running around with big smiles on their faces. It was a lively atmosphere. And Naruto soaked it all in. "I can't believe we did it," Naruto exclaimed. A huge grin plastered on his face. "We showed everyone what we're made of." Sasuke, walking beside him, nodded. "Yeah. But we can't let it get to our heads. There are stronger opponents out there. And we need to be ready." Naruto's expression shifted from joy to determination. "You're right. We need to keep training harder. I want to become Hokage. And I won't let anything stop me." Sasuke glanced at him. A hint of a smile creeping onto his face. "You've come a long way, Naruto. I can see that fire in you. Just remember, being Hokage means protecting everyone. You'll need more than just power." "Of course. I'll protect everyone with everything I've got," Naruto replied, his conviction unwavering. As they walked through the village, they spotted Sakura waiting for them outside the Hokage tower, her eyes lighting up when she saw them approach. "You guys were amazing. That battle was incredible," she gushed, her cheeks flushed with excitement. "Thanks, Sakura," Naruto said, his grin widening. "Did you see my lightning moves? I was like a storm." "Yeah, I saw. But Sasuke was impressive too," she replied, her gaze shifting to Sasuke. "You both pushed each other to the limits. It was inspiring." Sasuke shrugged, a small blush creeping onto his cheeks. "It was just a match. We're not done yet." Sakura nodded, her expression serious. "Speaking of not being done, I heard rumors that there are new missions being assigned. It's time for us to prove ourselves even more." Naruto's eyes sparkled with excitement. "What kind of missions?" "Word is that some rogue ninja have been causing trouble near the border of the Land of Fire," Sakura explained, her voice lowering as if sharing a secret. "They've been attacking small villages. And the higher-ups are looking for a team to investigate and stop them. That sounds like a perfect opportunity for us to shine," Naruto exclaimed, his fists clenched in determination. "We'll show them that we're ready for anything. Let's go to the Hokage's office and find out more," Sasuke suggested, leading the way toward the tower. As they entered the Hokage's office, they were greeted by Tsunade, who looked up from her paperwork, a serious expression on her face. "Ah, you three. I need to discuss a new mission with you," she said, motioning for them to take a seat. "What's the mission?" Naruto asked eagerly, barely able to contain his excitement. "There have been reports of rogue ninja attacking civilian areas near the border," Tsunade explained, her voice steady. "I want you three to investigate the situation and neutralize any threats you encounter. This will be a test of your abilities and teamwork. Count us in," Naruto shouted, raising his hand in excitement. "We won't let you down," Sasuke nodded, his expression serious. "We'll make sure to handle this quickly and efficiently," Sakura added. "We'll protect the villagers and stop those rogue ninja. No matter what it takes." Tsunade smiled, her demeanor softening slightly. "I trust you three. Remember, this mission is crucial for the safety of the villages. You need to work together and watch each other's backs." "We will," they responded in unison, determination shining in their eyes. As they left the Hokage's office, the weight of their mission settled upon them. Naruto felt a surge of excitement, knowing they were about to face a real challenge. "We need to prepare," he said, his voice filled with enthusiasm. "Let's gather our supplies and train a bit before heading out." "Good idea," Sasuke replied. "We should be ready for anything." Sakura nodded. "I'll gather some medical supplies and herbs. We need to be prepared for injuries." As they split up to gather what they needed, Naruto's mind raced with thoughts of the upcoming mission. The power of the Goro Goro no Mi flowed through him, and he couldn't help but feel a surge of confidence. He was ready to show the world just how strong he had become. After gathering their supplies, they met back at the training grounds. Naruto looked at his friends, excitement bubbling within him. "Let's train a bit to warm up. I want to try out my new techniques." "Sounds good," Sasuke agreed, already setting up a training area. "Let's see how you've improved." "Okay. Watch this," Naruto shouted, channeling chakra into his hands and summoning a small storm cloud above him. "Raiden. Raijin no Hikari," he called, sending a bolt of lightning down toward a nearby tree. The tree exploded on impact, sending splinters flying. Whoa! That was awesome, Naruto. Sakura exclaimed, clapping her hands in excitement. Just wait until I get even stronger, he replied, a grin plastered on his face. I'll show those rogue ninja what I'm made of, Sasuke smirked, crossing his arms. You'd better keep up with me, Naruto. I won't let you get all the glory. Don't worry, I'll be right there beside you, Naruto replied confidently. They continued to train, exchanging techniques and pushing each other to improve. The sun began to set, casting a warm glow over the training grounds as they honed their skills. After hours of training, they took a break, panting and leaning against a nearby tree. That was intense, Sakura exclaimed, wiping sweat from her brow. I can't believe how much we've improved. Yeah, but we still need to be ready for anything, Sasuke replied, his eyes focused. We don't know what we'll face out there. Naruto nodded, the weight of their mission returning to his mind. We'll protect the villages and show those rogue ninja the strength of Konoha, he declared, determination burning in his chest. As they prepared to head out on their mission the next day, Naruto felt a sense of camaraderie and purpose. Together, they would face any challenge that came their way. And with the power of the Goro Goro no Mi on his side, he was ready to embrace whatever awaited them, with their spirits high and their determination unwavering. Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura set forth into the night, ready to take on the challenges ahead. The road would be tough, but they knew that together, they could overcome anything. Little did they know that their journey would lead them to confront not only rogue ninja but also the darkness within themselves, testing their resolve and friendship in ways they had never imagined. But for now, they were simply three friends united by a common goal, ready to take on the world. The morning sun rose over Konoha, casting a golden hue across the village as Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura gathered at the entrance. Each of them was equipped with their ninja gear, ready for the mission ahead. The air buzzed with anticipation as they prepared to venture into the unknown. Are we ready? Naruto asked, bouncing on his heels, energy radiating from him. I can't wait to get started. Calm down, Naruto, Sasuke replied, crossing his arms. We need to stay focused. This mission isn't a game. Yeah, I know, Naruto said, waving his hand dismissively. But we have the chance to show everyone how strong we are. Plus, I want to use my new powers. Sakura rolled her eyes but smiled. Let's just make sure we don't let our excitement cloud our judgment. We need to work as a team and stay alert. Right? Naruto and Sasuke replied in unison. With their resolve set, they took off toward the Land of Fire's border, moving swiftly through the trees, blending seamlessly with the forest. The sounds of nature surrounded them, the rustling of leaves, the chirping of birds, and the occasional distant howl of a creature. Naruto breathed in the fresh air, feeling invigorated. As they reached the border, they paused to gather information about the rogue ninja. A few villagers had reported sightings of suspicious figures in the area, and Naruto's determination to protect them fueled his desire to act quickly. Let's set up a watch, Sasuke suggested. We'll split up and scout the area. We need to find out what we're dealing with. Good idea, Sakura agreed. We can cover more ground that way. We'll meet back here in an hour. Naruto nodded, his competitive spirit ignited. I'll take the north side. I'll find those rogue ninja before you guys do. Just don't get too reckless, Naruto, Sasuke warned, giving him a stern look. Stay within your limits. Yeah, I got it, Naruto replied, racing off into the trees, his heart racing with excitement. As he moved through the forest, Naruto felt a surge of confidence from the Goro Goro no Mi's power. He focused, channeling lightning into his hands, feeling the electricity crackle at his fingertips. This is going to be epic, he exclaimed, a grin spreading across his face. After scouting for a while, Naruto came across a small clearing. He noticed a group of rogue ninja gathered around a campfire, their voices low and conspiratorial. His heart raced as he crouched behind a bush, straining to hear what they were saying. Did you hear about the last village we hit? One of the rogue ninja asked, a sneer on his face. They barely put up a fight. They're all weak. Yeah. They don't even know we're coming until it's too late. Another replied, laughing. We'll take whatever we want. No one can stop us. Naruto clenched his fists, anger bubbling within him. These guys are the worst, he muttered to himself. I have to warn the others. Just as he turned to leave, one of the rogue ninja glanced in his direction. Hey! Did you hear something? He called out, scanning the trees. Panic surged through Naruto as he ducked behind the bush, his heart racing. I have to get out of here, he thought, quickly channeling his chakra and leaping into the trees. After him, the rogue ninja shouted, and Naruto could hear them pursuing him. He sprinted through the branches, the sound of their footsteps growing closer. This is not good, he thought, adrenaline pumping. He needed a plan. I can't fight them all at once. Thinking quickly, he formed a hand sign and summoned a small storm cloud above him. Raiden! Rikosho! He yelled, sending a bolt of lightning crashing down behind him, creating a massive explosion that sent dirt and debris flying. The rogue ninja shouted in surprise, momentarily thrown off. What the hell was that? One of them yelled, their voices filled with confusion. Seizing the opportunity, Naruto leapt away, using his speed to put distance between himself and his pursuers. I need to find Sasuke and Sakura, he thought, racing through the trees. As he navigated the forest, he felt the rush of energy coursing through him. The thrill of using his powers, combined with the urgency of the situation, made his heart race. He couldn't let those rogue ninja hurt anyone. Finally, he spotted Sasuke and Sakura at the rendezvous point. Guys, we have a problem, he shouted, bursting into the clearing, out of breath. What happened? Sakura asked, concern etched on her face. I found a group of rogue ninja. They're planning to attack a nearby village. Naruto exclaimed, trying to catch his breath. Sasuke's expression turned serious. We need to act fast. How many did you see? About 5 or 6. Naruto replied, his voice urgent. They think they can just take whatever they want. Then we can't waste any time, Sasuke said, determination shining in his eyes. We need to take them down before they can carry out their plan. Right? Let's show them what we can do, Naruto said, the fire of excitement igniting within him once more. Sakura nodded, her resolve solidifying. We need to strategize. If we catch them off guard, we can take them out quickly. They quickly formulated a plan, deciding to set an ambush at the rogue ninja's camp. As they made their way back through the forest, Naruto felt a mix of anticipation and determination. They were a team, and together, they could face any challenge. As they approached the clearing, they slowed their pace, moving stealthily. The campfire flickered ahead, and the rogue ninja were still laughing and chatting, completely unaware of the impending confrontation. On my signal, Sasuke whispered, his eyes focused on their targets. We wait until they're distracted, then we strike. Naruto nodded, feeling the power of the Goro Goro no Mi thrumming within him, ready to be unleashed. He glanced at Sakura, who nodded in understanding, her expression serious. The rogue ninja continued their banter, and Naruto felt his heart race with adrenaline. Now, Sasuke hissed, signaling them to attack. With a burst of energy, Naruto channeled lightning into his fists and charged forward. Raiden! Shuriken! He yelled, unleashing a barrage of lightning shurikens toward the rogue ninja. The attack caught them off guard, and they scrambled to react. What the? One shouted as the shurikens struck, electrifying the ground around them. Sasuke leapt in, using his Sharingan to predict their movements. Chidori! He shouted, focusing his chakra into his hand as he struck down one of the rogue ninja, the lightning crackling fiercely. Sakura followed closely, using her medical ninjutsu to create a protective barrier around them. I won't let any of you get away, she shouted, her voice fierce. The rogue ninja quickly regrouped, their laughter replaced by panic as they realized they were under attack. Get them! One shouted, trying to rally the others. But Naruto and his friends were relentless, their teamwork flowing seamlessly. Naruto sent waves of lightning surging through the camp, disorienting their enemies. You picked the wrong village to mess with, he yelled, feeling invincible. With each strike, they took down the rogue ninja one by one. Sasuke's precision, Sakura's support, and Naruto's overwhelming power made them an unstoppable force. As the last of the rogue ninja fell, the camp fell silent. The only sound remaining was the crackling of the campfire. They had won. But Naruto felt a mix of exhilaration and relief wash over him. "We did it!" Naruto exclaimed, breathing heavily as he looked at his friends. "That was awesome." Sasuke nodded, his expression serious. "We need to make sure they don't come back. We should alert the village about their presence." "Good idea," Sakura said, catching her breath. "Let's gather any intel we can find here before heading back." As they searched the camp, Naruto felt a sense of pride swelling within him. They had worked together and protected their village, proving their strength as ninjas. With their mission accomplished, they made their way back to the village, the sun setting on the horizon. The camaraderie they had built strengthened with each challenge they faced, and Naruto felt more determined than ever to protect his home and achieve his dream of becoming Hokage. As they walked side by side, laughter and excitement filling the air, Naruto realized that this journey was only just beginning. Together, they would continue to face challenges, grow stronger, and embrace whatever adventures awaited them. And as the first stars twinkled in the night sky, Naruto couldn't help but think that with friends like Sasuke and Sakura by his side, there was nothing they couldn't overcome. The return to Konoha was filled with a sense of accomplishment. The sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows across the village as Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura made their way through the familiar streets. Villagers greeted them with cheers and thanks, recognizing the trio for their bravery against the rogue ninja. "Did you see their faces?" Naruto laughed, his energy still high from the battle. "They had no idea what hit them." Sasuke smirked. "That's what happens when you underestimate Konoha's ninja. We're not just kids anymore." Sakura smiled, but her expression turned contemplative. "We have to stay vigilant. There will always be threats out there, and we can't let our guard down." As they approached the Hokage Tower, the excitement of their recent mission began to fade, replaced by the weight of responsibility. They entered the building, where Tsunade was reviewing mission reports. "Ah, you're back," she exclaimed, looking up with a proud smile. "I heard about your success." "Well done." "Thanks, Tsunade," Naruto said, puffing out his chest with pride. "We took them down before they could hurt anyone." Tsunade nodded. "That's what I expected. However, there's more to this than just a few rogue ninja. Intelligence reports suggest there may be a larger organization behind these attacks, one that seeks to destabilize our borders." Sasuke's expression hardened. "Do you have any information on them?" Tsunade shook her head. "Not much yet. We're still gathering intel. But I need you three to stay alert. If they're organizing attacks, they might strike again." "Understood," Sakura replied, her voice steady. "We'll be ready for anything." As they left the tower, Naruto felt a mix of excitement and apprehension. "So, what's next for us?" he asked, eager for another challenge. "We should train more," Sasuke suggested. "If there's a larger organization out there, we need to be prepared." "Yeah, and I want to master my lightning techniques," Naruto added, feeling the familiar thrill of ambition. "I've got to become even stronger. Then let's hit the training grounds tomorrow morning," Sakura proposed. "We can come up with new strategies and improve our teamwork." As night fell over Konoha, Naruto lay in bed, staring at the ceiling. Thoughts of their recent mission swirled in his mind. He had felt powerful using the Goro Goro no Mi, but he also felt the weight of what lay ahead. A larger threat loomed, and they would have to face it together. The next morning, the trio met at the training grounds, excitement crackling in the air like static electricity. Naruto wasted no time, summoning a small storm cloud overhead. "Let's see if I can create a bigger lightning attack," he declared, determination shining in his eyes. "Just be careful," Sakura warned. "We don't want another explosion like last time." Naruto laughed. "No promises." "Raiden. Raijin no Jutsu," he shouted, unleashing a powerful bolt of lightning that shot through the sky. The ground trembled beneath them as the energy crackled, illuminating the area. "Impressive. But you need to control the power," Sasuke advised, his tone serious. "Focus on precision, not just raw strength." Okay, I'll try," Naruto replied, His competitive spirit ignited. He focused again, channeling his chakra. Raiden. Rai Bunshin. He called, creating several lightning clones of himself. Sakura's eyes widened. That's amazing. Naruto. You can use the clones to attack and confuse the enemy. Yes. Now we're talking strategy. Naruto grinned, feeling the adrenaline rush through him as he prepared for their training. As they continued their training, pushing each other to improve, they heard rustling from the nearby bushes. They turned, ready to face whatever came next. Out stepped a familiar figure, Kakashi, their former sensei, wearing his usual laid-back expression. I see you three have been busy, he remarked, glancing at the lightning crackling around them. Hey, Kakashi-sensei. Naruto greeted, excited to see him. We were just training to get stronger. I heard about your last mission. You did well, Kakashi said, his tone turning serious. But I have some concerns. If there's a larger organization out there, you may face challenges that require more than just brute strength. Like what? Sakura asked. Her curiosity piqued. Kakashi leaned against a tree, crossing his arms. When facing organized threats, information is key. You need to know your enemy. That's why I'm here. I want to help you prepare. Naruto's eyes lit up. Really? That would be awesome. What do we need to do? First, you need to gather more intel. Find out what you can about these rogue groups and their motives. You'll need to work on your stealth and reconnaissance skills, Kakashi instructed. And I'll be training you in advanced tactics. Let's do it. Naruto shouted, determination flooding through him. Over the next few weeks, Kakashi trained them in new techniques, emphasizing teamwork and strategy. They learned how to gather information quietly, setting up traps to catch unsuspecting targets and using their strengths to complement one another. As they honed their skills, Naruto felt himself growing more powerful, the Goro Goro no Mi's abilities becoming second nature. He learned to control his lightning, using it not just for brute force but for clever distractions and subterfuge. But as they trained, the specter of the larger organization loomed in the background. Whispers in the wind spoke of their ruthless intentions, and the trio knew they couldn't ignore the danger forever. One evening, after a long day of training, Naruto gathered with Sasuke and Sakura under the stars. I've been thinking, he began, his expression serious. What if we set out to find more information on this organization ourselves? Sasuke nodded, his eyes narrowing in contemplation. It's risky, but we can't wait for someone else to take action. I agree, Sakura added. If we can uncover their plans, we might be able to stop them before they strike again. Naruto felt a surge of determination. Then it settled. We'll gather what we can and confront this organization head-on. As they plotted their course, the weight of their decision hung in the air. This wasn't just a mission, it was a path that would lead them deeper into the shadows of the world, forcing them to confront their fears and doubts. In the days that followed, they gathered information, talked to villagers, and pieced together clues about the rogue organization. Each fragment of information led them closer to the truth, and soon, they found themselves standing at the precipice of a new adventure. But as they prepared to face the unknown, Naruto couldn't shake the feeling that this journey would test not just their skills but their bonds as well. They were entering dangerous territory, and there was no turning back. With their resolve set, they embraced the challenges ahead. The path before them was shrouded in mystery and danger, but they were determined to confront whatever awaited them, united in purpose and friendship. Together, they would face the darkness and rise stronger, no matter the cost. With their plans set, Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura found themselves more determined than ever. Each day felt charged with the weight of their mission, the looming threat of the rogue organization driving them forward. Their training continued, but it was now accompanied by a palpable sense of urgency. As they gathered in their usual training spot, the air was thick with anticipation. Kakashi had informed them that he would be away on a mission for a few days, leaving them to continue their preparations alone. All right, team, Sakura said, crossing her arms with a serious expression. We need to finalize our strategy. If we're going to gather information on this organization, we need to be smart about it. Agreed, Sasuke replied, his eyes narrowed in focus. We can split into pairs to cover more ground. Each of us should investigate different areas to find clues. Naruto nodded eagerly. I'll take the lead. I can use my clones to scout out multiple locations at once. It'll be like we're everywhere. Sakura raised an eyebrow. Just remember to keep them hidden. We don't want to alert anyone to our presence. Right? Stealth mode. Naruto grinned, giving a thumbs up. They spent the next few hours planning their approach. Sasuke suggested they target areas where rogue ninja had been spotted, while Sakura emphasized the importance of gathering intel from trusted sources within the village. As the sun began to set, they each set out in their designated pairs. Naruto decided to work with Sakura, while Sasuke ventured off on his own to cover more ground. Let's check out the northern district first, Sakura said, leading the way. I heard there have been some rumors about suspicious activity near the outskirts of the village. Naruto nodded, his energy unwavering. Let's go. I'll use my clones to scout ahead and see if we can find anything. In moments, Naruto created several clones that dispersed into the shadows, each one heading in a different direction to gather information. As they moved through the bustling streets, Naruto couldn't help but feel a sense of excitement. This was what he had trained for, to protect his village and his friends. After a while, one of Naruto's clones returned, panting. I overheard some guys talking in a back alley. They mentioned something about a meeting tonight. Near the old abandoned temple. Great job. Sakura exclaimed. We should check it out. If they're meeting there, we might learn something about their plans. Naruto nodded, a grin spreading across his face. Let's go. They made their way toward the abandoned temple, the sun dipping lower in the sky as shadows stretched across the ground. The air grew colder, and a sense of foreboding hung over them. Stay alert, Sakura whispered as they approached the temple. We don't know how many of them there are. Naruto nodded, his heart racing with both excitement and apprehension. As they neared the entrance, they heard muffled voices echoing from inside. They crept closer, peering through the broken doors. Inside, several rogue ninja were gathered in a circle, discussing their plans in hushed tones. Naruto strained to hear their conversation. We need to move quickly, one of the rogue ninja said, his voice low and menacing. The more villages we target, the stronger our organization becomes. We can't afford any slip-ups, another added. The last attack didn't go as planned. We lost too many men. Naruto exchanged a glance with Sakura, who looked equally determined. We need to report this back to Sasuke, she whispered. Just then, one of the rogue ninja turned, his eyes narrowing. I think we have company, he said, scanning the entrance. Crap. Let's get out of here. Naruto whispered urgently, signaling his clones to retreat. But before they could move, the rogue ninja rushed toward the entrance, catching them by surprise. Get them, he shouted, alerting the others. Naruto and Sakura dashed back, sprinting through the forest to escape. They needed to regroup with Sasuke. But as they ran, Naruto could hear the sound of footsteps behind them, gaining ground. Faster, Sakura, he urged, pushing himself to run even harder. We can't let them catch us. As they reached a clearing, Naruto summoned a storm cloud above them. I'll hold them off. Raiden no jutsu, he shouted, unleashing a powerful bolt of lightning that struck the ground behind them. The rogue ninja hesitated, momentarily stunned by the blast. What the hell is that? One shouted, trying to shield himself from the crackling energy. Now's our chance, Sakura yelled, grabbing Naruto's hand as they sprinted away, the distance between them and their pursuers growing. Once they felt they had gained enough distance, they finally slowed down to catch their breath. We need to find Sasuke and tell him what we learned, Naruto panted, his heart still racing. Right, but we need to be careful. They might have sent more ninja after us, Sakura said, glancing over her shoulder. After a while of running, they reached a familiar spot near the training grounds. Suddenly, they spotted Sasuke, who had just returned from his own reconnaissance. There you are. I was starting to worry, Sasuke said, noticing their anxious expressions. What happened? We overheard them planning a meeting tonight, Naruto exclaimed, his voice urgent. They're targeting more villages, and they're organizing their attacks. Sasuke's expression hardened. We need to inform Tsunade immediately. If they're planning something big, we have to act fast. They quickly made their way back to the Hokage Tower, the atmosphere charged with urgency. As they entered, Tsunade looked up, sensing their anxiety. "What's going on?" she asked, her voice sharp. "We overheard rogue ninja talking about attacking more villages," Sasuke replied. "They're gathering strength and planning an organized strike." Tsunade's expression turned serious. "We need to alert the other villages and prepare our defenses. We can't let them succeed." Naruto nodded, determination flooding through him. "Let's gather everyone. We need to act quickly." As they worked together, coordinating with the village's defenses, Naruto felt the gravity of their situation settle over him. The challenges ahead were daunting, but he was ready to face them head-on. As the night deepened, the trio gathered with the rest of their allies, laying out plans to defend against the impending threat. But even as they strategized, Naruto felt a stirring within him, a reminder of the power he held with the Goro Goro no Mi. "Whatever happens, we'll protect our village," Naruto vowed, determination burning in his eyes. "We won't let them win." As the village prepared for battle, the shadows of the past and the storm of the future loomed overhead. Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura stood united, ready to face whatever challenges awaited them in the fight for Konoha. The village of Konoha buzzed with urgency as news of the impending threat spread. Teams were mobilized, defenses were reinforced, and the villagers were prepared to do whatever it took to protect their home. Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura found themselves at the center of it all, their resolve unwavering. As night fell, the trio gathered in a secluded area near the Hokage Tower. Tsunade had called for a meeting with key personnel, and they were discussing their strategy. "The organization we're facing is more coordinated than we anticipated," Tsunade stated, her expression grave. "We have reports that they're planning a large-scale attack, likely targeting multiple villages at once. Do we have any idea of their numbers?" Sakura asked, glancing at the map spread across the table. "Not exactly," Tsunade replied. "But we need to prepare for the worst. That means not just defending Konoha but also alerting our allied villages." Naruto clenched his fists, feeling a rush of determination. "We can't just sit here and wait for them to come. We should strike first." Sasuke nodded in agreement. "If we can disrupt their plans before they launch their attack, we'll have the advantage." Tsunade considered their words. "While I understand your eagerness, we need to be strategic. If we act impulsively, we risk playing into their hands. We need more information before we decide on our next move." Just then, a ninja burst into the room, breathless. "Hokage, we have a situation." Tsunade straightened, her focus sharpening. "What is it?" "We've received word that rogue ninja are gathering near the western border. They're assembling for a meeting, and it looks like they might be planning an attack on the nearby village of Takigakure." The room fell silent, tension thick in the air. "We have to warn them," Sakura exclaimed. "I'll send a team immediately," Tsunade said, her voice steady. "Naruto, Sasuke, Sakura, you're coming with me. We'll gather intel and assess the situation ourselves." Naruto felt a thrill of excitement mixed with anxiety. This was it, the chance to confront the enemy head-on. As they prepared to leave, he took a moment to breathe, focusing on the power within him. The Goro Goro no Mi had given him strength, but he knew it would take more than just power to protect his friends and the villagers. As they raced through the night, the moon illuminated their path, casting shadows that danced in the trees. Naruto was filled with anticipation, each step bringing him closer to the enemy and the confrontation he sought. Upon reaching the western border, they carefully approached the area where the rogue ninja were gathered. The flickering light of torches illuminated the clearing, and they could see several figures gathered, their voices low and conspiratorial. "Stay low," Tsunade instructed, her voice barely above a whisper. "We need to gather information without being detected." Naruto, using his clones to scout ahead, positioned them strategically to eavesdrop. The rogue ninja discussed their plans for an attack on Takigakure, their words laced with malice. "We'll hit them at dawn," one rogue ninja said, his tone dark. "They'll never see it coming." Another added, "And once we've taken Takigakure, We'll have a stronghold to launch further attacks on the other villages. Naruto's heart raced as he absorbed the information. We have to stop them, he whispered urgently to Sasuke and Sakura. I'll create a diversion, Sasuke said, his eyes narrowing. While they're distracted, we can gather more intel or take out their leaders. Are you sure it's a good idea? Sakura asked, concern flickering in her eyes. If it goes wrong, it won't, Sasuke replied, determination etched into his features. We need to act now. With a nod, they prepared themselves for action. Sasuke quickly formulated a plan, using his Sharingan to focus on the rogue ninja. I'll create a shadow clone to draw their attention while you two take out any sentries, he instructed. Naruto nodded, adrenaline coursing through him. Let's do this. As Sasuke executed the plan, a clone appeared from the shadows, rushing into the clearing. Hey! Over here! It shouted, drawing the attention of the rogue ninja. The gathered figures turned in surprise, their expressions shifting from confusion to anger. Get him! One shouted, lunging forward. While they were distracted, Naruto and Sakura slipped into the shadows, taking out the guards quietly. Naruto's clones moved with precision, striking swiftly before retreating, leaving the rogue ninja bewildered. In the chaos, Naruto's heart raced. He could feel the storm brewing inside him, the power of the Goro Goro no Mi urging him forward. Let's finish this, he shouted, summoning a powerful storm cloud overhead. Raiden! Kamehameha no Jutsu! Lightning surged from the cloud, striking down into the clearing and illuminating the faces of the rogue ninja. The crackling energy electrified the air, causing the rogue ninja to scatter in panic. Now! Sakura shouted, seizing the opportunity to strike. She dashed forward, using her strength to take down several rogue ninja with precise blows. As the battle unfolded, Sasuke unleashed his own attacks, his eyes burning with determination. He moved gracefully, weaving through the chaos and striking down their opponents with calculated precision. But amidst the confusion, Naruto spotted the leader of the rogue ninja, a figure with a menacing aura. You won't stop us, the leader shouted, glaring at Naruto. We will bring chaos to all the villages. With a surge of determination, Naruto faced the rogue leader, the storm swirling around him. Not if I can help it, he declared, channeling the power of the Goro Goro no Mi. He thrust his hands forward, unleashing a barrage of lightning bolts that illuminated the night sky. The rogue leader barely had time to react as the energy surged toward him, crackling with fury. As the attack connected, a deafening roar echoed through the clearing, shaking the ground beneath them. The rogue leader was sent flying, crashing into a nearby tree, his body smoking from the intensity of the blast. Let's finish this, Sasuke shouted, rushing forward to engage the other rogue ninja, while Sakura followed closely behind. With their combined strength, they fought valiantly against the remaining enemies, determination fueling their every move. The rogue ninja, caught off guard by the sudden assault, struggled to regroup. But as the battle raged on, Naruto couldn't shake the feeling that this was only the beginning. The rogue organization was vast, and their defeat here might only be a small victory in the larger war ahead. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, the last of the rogue ninja fell. Breathing heavily, Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura stood together, surveying the aftermath of their battle. That was intense, Sakura said, wiping sweat from her brow. But we need to get word back to Konoha. We can't let the others be caught off guard. Agreed, Sasuke replied, scanning the area for any lingering threats. We've gathered valuable intel, and we need to share it. As they prepared to return to the village, Naruto felt a surge of pride swell within him. They had faced danger head-on, and together they had triumphed. But deep down, he knew this victory came at a cost, and the fight was far from over. The night was still dark, but as they moved back toward Konoha, Naruto felt a renewed sense of purpose. The storm may have been gathering, but they were ready to face it together. Whatever challenges awaited them, they would stand united, ready to protect their home and those they loved. The journey back to Konoha felt charged with tension, each step heavy with the knowledge of the battle they had just fought. The night sky stretched endlessly above them, a vast canvas of stars flickering with distant light. But the darkness of their recent encounter loomed larger than life. As they approached the gates of Konoha, the village lights flickered like beacons of hope. They were greeted by the anxious faces of their fellow villagers and shinobi, who had been alerted to the potential attack. Tsunade stood at the forefront, her expression a mixture of relief and concern. "You made it back," she exclaimed, her eyes scanning the trio for any signs of injury. "What did you find out?" "We took out a group of rogue ninja planning to attack Takigakure," Naruto reported, catching his breath. "But they're organizing for a bigger strike. They're targeting multiple villages. And we need to prepare." Tsunade's expression hardened. "This confirms what we feared. We'll need to send word to all our allies immediately." Sakura stepped forward, urgency in her voice. "We should inform the other villages about their plans. We can't let them catch anyone off guard." "Agreed. Get the messengers ready," Tsunade instructed, her voice commanding. "And gather the Jonin for a briefing. We need to strategize our defenses." As the team split off to carry out their tasks, Naruto felt the weight of responsibility settle heavily on his shoulders. He had the power of the Goro Goro no Mi. But with that power came the burden of expectation. In the days that followed, Konoha prepared for war. Training sessions intensified, and the village buzzed with energy as shinobi and villagers alike steeled themselves for the fight that lay ahead. During a brief break, Naruto sat on the roof of his home, watching the sun set over the village. The orange and purple hues painted the sky, but the beauty of it felt overshadowed by the turmoil brewing beneath the surface. He heard footsteps behind him and turned to see Sakura approaching, a concerned look on her face. "Hey," she said softly, sitting beside him. "You alright?" "Yeah, I guess," Naruto replied, leaning back on his hands. "Just thinking about everything. We took down those rogue ninja. But what if it's not enough? What if they're planning something bigger?" Sakura nodded, her brow furrowed. "I understand. But we did a good job. We gathered valuable intel. And we're not alone in this. We have the whole village behind us." Naruto smiled faintly, appreciating her encouragement. "I know. I just wish I could do more. I have this power now. But what if I can't control it?" "You will," Sakura reassured him, placing a hand on his shoulder. "You've trained hard. And you're stronger than ever. Just remember, we're all in this together." Her words struck a chord within him. They had faced challenges before, and each time they had emerged stronger as a team. But this time felt different. The stakes were higher, and the enemy was more formidable. Suddenly, a loud horn echoed through the village, interrupting their conversation. The sound reverberated in the air, signaling an emergency meeting. "Let's go," Naruto said, jumping to his feet. They rushed to the central square where the villagers had gathered, the atmosphere charged with tension. Tsunade stood at the forefront, flanked by the other leaders of the village. "Everyone, listen up," she commanded, her voice ringing out clearly. "We've received word that the rogue organization is preparing to make their move. We must be ready." As she spoke, Naruto felt a sense of urgency surge within him. This was their moment to act, to protect everything they held dear. "We've coordinated with our allies," Tsunade continued. "Teams will be deployed to guard key locations, and we will be reinforcing our defenses throughout the village. We need everyone's cooperation." A murmur rippled through the crowd, a mix of fear and determination. "But what if they attack our village?" a villager shouted, anxiety lacing his voice. "We will defend Konoha with everything we have," Tsunade declared, her voice unwavering. "We will not let fear dictate our actions. Every shinobi here is capable. And together, we will prevail." Naruto felt a fire ignite within him. He stepped forward, raising his voice above the crowd. "Everyone, I promise you this. I will fight to protect this village. We won't let them win." His words resonated, echoing in the hearts of those gathered. The crowd began to cheer, a wave of determination washing over them. They stood together, united against the threat looming on the horizon. As the meeting concluded, Naruto, Sakura, and Sasuke found themselves together again, a sense of purpose solidifying their bond. "Tonight, we should gather as a team and strategize," Sasuke suggested, his expression serious. We need to be prepared for whatever comes our way. Right? Let's come up with a solid plan. Naruto agreed, feeling the adrenaline pumping through him. We've faced tough challenges before. And this will be no different. As night enveloped the village, they met in their usual training ground. The air filled with the sounds of crickets and rustling leaves. The moon cast a silvery glow over them, illuminating the path ahead. They spread out maps and began plotting their strategies. Each member of Team 7 contributed their thoughts, refining their approach as they considered the strengths and weaknesses of both their team and the enemy. I think we should set traps around the village perimeter, Sakura proposed. If they try to invade, we can slow them down and catch them off guard. Sasuke nodded in agreement. We can use my Sharingan to keep an eye on their movements. If we can anticipate their attack, we'll have a better chance of defending the village. Naruto's excitement surged as he listened. And with my lightning abilities, I can create barriers and create a storm to disorient them. They won't know what hit them. As they solidified their plan, a sense of camaraderie enveloped them. This was their time to shine, to put their training to the test, and to protect their home. As the night wore on, they finalized their strategies, preparing for the battle ahead. Naruto felt a wave of confidence wash over him, bolstered by the unwavering support of his friends. But deep down, he knew that the path ahead was fraught with danger. The rogue organization was ruthless, and they would stop at nothing to achieve their goals. As they wrapped up their meeting, Naruto glanced at the stars above, a determination settling within him. Whatever challenges awaited them, he would face them head-on, driven by the bonds he had forged and the power he now wielded. With the dawn of a new day, the storm would come, and Naruto was ready to meet it with everything he had.